Would have been great if I had a knocked off the sound, wouldn't it? Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Tardis Zone live on this Friday evening. We've got 2 nights to go until the series finale, so we will be getting a couple of people on, but we will also be hearing from you fans in the comments. Let me know how yous are feeling. Right now, the mood on Twitter and Facebook, for what I can gather, is one of worry, anxiety, and people just are scared. They don't know what is going to happen this weekend. And you know what? I'm worried myself. I haven't been sleeping well. Um, Sasha's interview kind of made me more worried. Why would he be worried about how the fandom feels about him after the series finale, which makes me feel like something big is going to happen. Um, and like most fans, I'm dreading it right now because we don't know what is going to happen. So I'm just waiting on my guests to arrive. So while I'm waiting on them, I've sent them out an email. So we'll just wait now and we will see who is in the live chat. I have been texting in the live chat. I know there's some of you here. There's a lot of you here right now. Let's see who we've got. We've got Coconut Milk. Gary is here as well. 353. Daniel, welcome. Super John Scooby D. Stephen Cassidy is here. Thomas is here as well. Welcome, Thomas. We got CJ Campbell here. Welcome. We got Charlotte here as well. Jump Top is here. Unknown 289. Who else have we got? We've got Jamie Daniels, Will Griffin, welcome. Chuckzilla and Leland is here as well. Welcome, folks. Welcome. I just better actually send a message to my 2 guests and just let them know that I've actually sent them an email. I think that would be a great idea, wouldn't it? Oh no, there's one guest, but hold on. Right, so we've got our first guest. We might as well bring him on. He's becoming a bit of a regular on the channel. I'd like to introduce everybody to Marty.
Good afternoon, good after evening, good after night, wherever you are all based. How are you?
And we see you've got the nice little avatar there of the Titanic sinking slowly. Nice one. Nice one. We're just waiting on our next guest, but welcome to the stream. Beats Means Hive is here as well. I love that name as well. Some of you have some great names, I have to say. So I might as well give you all, while we're waiting on the next guest, I might as well give you an update on what I've been doing behind the scenes, the kind of stuff that I've been up to. So this is what's happened so far. I've gotten a lot of people get back in contact with me and tell me that the BBC have gotten back in contact with them. Okay, it's the same generic email. Some people have sent 4 or 5 emails and they're starting. Someone said to me that they're starting to get weird responses from the BBC. Now, here's the thing. While that's been happening, I have also been talking to other YouTubers, as you know. Now, we've already gotten Ballstrek to actually let his subscribers know to send in emails of complaints to the BBC. Gary from Neurotics has also agreed. Random Mech has also agreed. And I was supposed to be on Doomcock's channel tonight, but unfortunately that has been cancelled until next weekend. So I'll be on his channel, and hopefully before we go on air, I'll be able to discuss it in more detail. He does know that I want to talk to him, so we will have a word with that. So hopefully Doomcock will be on board as well. As well as that, I just want to be careful what I say here because, as you know, there's someone else out there that's trying to get their own campaign going and is kind of trying to interfere with my campaign. So I don't really want to say what else I've been kind of doing, but let's just say I've been getting in touch with other people of influence that can actually help our campaign even further to get it more recognized, if you know what I mean. But I won't be telling the method that I've used because I don't want that person to find out what I'm actually up to because they seem to be shadowing me everything I do. They've added on me panel as their friends. It's absolutely ridiculous. Keep flogging this petition. It's absolutely it's getting absolutely ridiculous now at this stage. They're trying to undermine the campaign. The campaign has been going very well. We've actually proven it because the BBC are inundated with emails. So it's actually working. The fact that Piers Vengar's had to come out and say something proves it's actually working. So as I said, when you're sending your emails, though, we said we're going to change tactic a little bit. Talk about the hypocrisy of the BBC, as we said, their stance on climate change, the way they've handled social issues, the way they've handled the cancer, illnesses, disabilities on Doctor Who. They haven't handled them very well. They're the type of things that we want you to remain focused on. Right, we're going to bring on our next guest and we'll make it short and sweet. I'd like to introduce everybody, the creator of Rebecca Gold Mega Geek.
Hello, how are you doing?
Welcome back, my friend. Welcome back.
Hello.
Nice
Hello.
to have you here. We've got a couple of more, just hold on, lads. We've got a couple of more people in the live chat there. We've got Mr. CCDV, welcome. We've got Kirsten McDonald Films, welcome. Jodie Whittaker referenced the hashtag Not My Doctor on BBC Radio 2 this morning. What did she actually say, if you don't mind me asking you? Because that crowd has actually given the whole lot of the fandom a bad name. Who else have we got? I think that's, hold on, just want to make sure because the chat jumps on this StreamYard. So I just want to make sure I haven't forgotten anybody. Oh, we got Fred Flintoff here and John Steed as well. John Steed says, though, hey, no, messaged you this morning, spreading the message. Did you message, where did you message me? You don't mind me asking, because I get so many messages on so many different platforms. I don't know where my head is. And I see that one of the ladies that helps me out with some of the research on the channel is here as well. So I'd like to give Marie a special shout out as well. And I'd like to welcome all my moderators as well. And keep an eye out tonight. You know yourself, a couple of nights to go before the finale. The trolls might be out in force tonight. So just keep an eye. I'll be keeping an eye on the chat myself as well. Do us a favor, 50 viewers watching right now. Hit the stream a like. Obviously, if you haven't subscribed already, please do. And if you could subscribe to all my guests that are on the panel tonight, I really appreciate it. Right, guys, two nights to go. Obviously, I've been asking around. People have been asking around on Twitter how fans are feeling about the series finale on Sunday. Now, as you'd expect, the other side are excited, and of course, our side are terrified. So we will start with you, Marty. How are you actually feeling about this weekend? And guys in the live chat as well, let me know how you are feeling as well in the live chat.
It's a crossroads for me this Sunday. If the show is going to do what we all think it's going to do, I then have to decide, do I continue with it? Or do I, after 15 years as a loyal fan, walk away? That's something that's not going to be an easy decision to make. As I've said on the cast before, I've told you how important this show has been to me in regards to mental health and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And, you were saying stuff about your own self, Noel. But I hope to God that what has been put out on Reddit and over Twitter is bollocks. I hope it's bollocks. I hope that it's a twist that we don't see coming. if I had to pick what the theories that are out there, I hope to God that it ends up with Sasha becoming the Doctor or something. Because I just don't know what is going to happen after this Sunday. I just don't. I think, if he does this the wrong way, the view. Can you imagine the ratings for the special episode with whatever it's called at Christmas or New Year? Nobody's going to watch it.
Yeah.
Kirsten has actually followed up on her comment when I asked her what was said. So the presenter was talking about her son being a fan, and Jodie said, "Hope he's not part of hashtag not my doctor." See, this is another thing as well, and I just want to actually address this, right? We seem to have this rhetoric from Jodie Whittaker herself and others in this fandom who happen to be women as well, that have this thing that think it's only men that don't like Jodie Whittaker's doctor. There's a lot of women in the Doctor Who fandom, and the fact that you are actually ignoring your own gender is actually quite hypocritical of you, because there's a lot of women in this fandom, and there's a lot of men and children in this fandom that don't like this era. This is the typical rhetoric that we get from Jodie Whittaker. It's not male fans that are just part of that hashtag. Unfortunately, there is some female fans attached to that hashtag that do engage in that sort of behavior. But the majority of them are like us. They just use, that's the hashtag they use because that's the hashtag they decide to use. I would advise them not to, but I can't tell people what hashtag to use. But to say that there's only men, I'm sick of this whole rhetoric. It's always the same.
It's bullshit. It's bullshit.
It doesn't hold up. I'm sorry, it doesn't. I mean, I should start. I had an all girls stream one night. I should start doing a few more of them just to prove to this fandom that actually no, you are wrong. And to Jodie Whittaker, you're wrong. It's not boys that part of it. It's not men, just men, right?
Listen,
just deal with it.
I'll tell you the story about me when she was announced as the Doctor. The only reason I was excited was because Chibnall was coming in. I thought Broadchurch was good. I thought she was decent enough, and I thought that the show was going to go back to being how I remembered growing up with it, like the RTD. I was hoping it was going to go back to being like RTD era. And then when a Series 11 landed, I got a smack across the face, and I says, well, I am not getting my hopes up for anything like that again in the future because they've just been crushed. The only saving grace for Series 11 for me, and even Series 12, is Bradley Walsh.
Yeah, he's not enough to save the show, though.
No, it's not. He should have been the Doctor.
No, I disagree. Totally disagree. I think the Doctor should be a new person, younger and male.
Ben Whishaw was my first thought.
Yeah, I said this to Noel as well. I disagree. I mean, I like Peter, but I think they took the wrong turn. They should have cast someone younger because that's when they started losing audience in this new era. People were used to a young Doctor. They were used to the romance. They were used to the companions being close to him. And then they changed the whole dynamic by making the Doctor a grandfather instead of a father, basically.
Yeah.
And that's when it kind of went a bit weird.
I think it's sad that when you think about it, and I know there probably was a way it could change, but I think it's the only way I think, and I might just sound a bit stereotypical of me here. The only way you're going to get fans back is if you have a decent writer and a young Doctor in his late 20s, early 30s that looks good. That's a good. I'm not saying that based on my own preference, but from what I can see from everybody else, early mid-30s ish Doctor, good looking to get into all the fan girls. That's what they love. Like.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think, Noel? You obviously disagree with me because you like Peter, don't you?
What? I like what?
I said you disagree because you like Peter, don't you, Peter?
Yeah, I like Peter Capaldi. Look, I mean, to get this fandom back, I do agree. I think you would probably need a Doctor that would appeal to all fans. And whether I like or not, younger fans Peter Capaldi just didn't appeal to them
Yeah.
which is a shame, because if I'm not saying all, but you know, if they had have actually gave him a chance, they would see that he's actually an amazing doctor. But yeah, I think after Jodie Whittaker, you would have to go with probably a younger doctor. And I hate to say it, but it's no, I don't hate to say it. It's true. You need a sexy companion as well, because you know, you get a sexy doctor for the girls, you get a sexy companion for the boys, right? And then you write half decent sci-fi stories. You're on to a winner there.
Yeah.
And John Steve has been, I've been told by so-called fans it's a waste of time to email your complaints, and also being called misogynistic and change the record, but I'm not being put off by them. See, this is what they will say. And a lot of them are saying that now. You'll see a lot of them on Twitter saying, oh, but you're wasting your time. See, they know it's not a waste of time, and they don't want you to email. They want to put you off. So don't be listening to them. Keep doing what we're doing. It's making a difference. It is. There's something already came out. Look at this. Is not look. If Sunday happens, right, and he breaks canon, do you think that we're going to sit back and do nothing? This fandom alone. Look, I won't even have to do nothing. I won't even have to campaign people to do something about this. Wait and you see the shitstorm that's about to come if he breaks canon on Sunday. I won't have to do nothing. See all these people saying, oh, you're doing this campaign, you're bad and all this. I won't even have to do nothing. I just sit back, get a glass of whiskey and watch the fans do it themselves. Because if you think, seriously, at the end of the day, all those fans out there that talk about F canon and all this, deep down they don't want canon destroyed either, and they're trying to put on a break. Soon as Chris Chibnall breaks canon, trust me, BBC is going to be inundated. They're not going to see this coming.
I reckon.
You seen their newspaper reports during the week, right? They've got the TV, they've got their head in the sand, they don't care, or they're clueless idiots, right? I would like to say they've got their heads in the sand, right? They're not going to see what's coming this Sunday if they even attempt to screw with William Hartnell's canon.
I reckon that if he does break canon this Sunday, I reckon we're going to start to see big YouTubers. I'll not Doctor Who YouTubers. I'll not name any, but I reckon there will be a few big ones that have maybe 20,000-30,000 subscribers that could turn around and say, actually, you know what, this is getting to be all a joke now.
Yeah. Well,
I hope that happens. I obviously don't want canon to be broken, but I hope if it is happening, you know, we can't change that now. It's happening. It's going out on Sunday. That's it.
Yeah.
But if it is happening, I hope they do turn around and realise what is going on here.
Well, for me, if they do what I think they're going to do on Sunday, that's it for me. I'm not going to watch it anymore.
What do you think they're doing?
Well, if they break canon, if they make this Council State Doctor the first Doctor before Hartnell, I think that's an insult to everyone.
Yeah.
And every true fan of Doctor Who. And I've just have it, because I wouldn't watch it anymore, because the last episode, right, I was watching it, my heart was in my mouth, thinking, please don't change it too much, please, please, please.
Yeah.
And then when they change it, I'm going to be broken-hearted. So what's the point of carrying on with it, you know?
You know something? I just hope, you know, if it is happening, I just hope that there's a showrunner, if there is someone that they come on and retcon this fucking dumpster fire immediately. You know.
Well, if I was the showrunner, I know how to correct it, but hey,
bring Capaldi in.
Be one.
Wake him up. Wake him up.
I like him, but as I said, I think they made the wrong turn with him. I really like him.
Oh no, but what I'm saying is, you know, when you have Jodie regenerating, don't even have her regenerate. Have Capaldi wake up and have him in the TARDIS again. Redo the Twice Upon a Time regeneration scene and regenerate into the next Doctor.
I would have I'd go back to Capaldi and I'd have him change into someone else.
Yeah.
That's what I would do. I'd ignore the whole of season, was it 11 and 12, the whole of it, and that's what I would do, because. You know what, right? If they get a new showrunner in and he tries to correct it, you'll have the same situation as the Star Wars film with the rise of Palpatine. Do you know what I mean? It'll be a clusterfuck. So, did I say that wrong? I did. But you know, it just won't work. So I think the best step to do is just completely ignore those last two and just go from Peter to somebody else, in my opinion.
Yeah. But could you imagine how pissed Chibnall would be at that? Could you imagine?
If the fans, as Noel says, if the fans team up and they fire them with, with letters and people do YouTube stuff and stuff like that, they can't ignore it forever. Maybe it will make a difference.
But what was in my head for a while, what I always thought, and I don't know if anybody maybe in the comment section would agree with this. I always thought for a long time, but maybe I do think now, I do think this theory's out the window. I always thought that Chibnall wasn't writing these messages into the show because he wants to. I always thought that there's somebody high up in the BBC that's pushing these messages into the show. Somebody sort of, you can call them like a mysterious figure in the shadows who we don't know.
I think it's Ofcom. I think it's Ofcom.
Really?
Ofcom has rules now that channels have to abide by. 15% of this, 25% of that, whatever, and it goes right across TV now. So, but the BBC has embraced it to a ridiculous level.
Yeah.
The
BBC has to keep the government happy now because if Boris takes the license fee off them, that's they have to keep it. Like I've always thought the BBC were very much towards the government and not for anybody else.
Yeah,
because it's I just don't like their attitude. I think don't get me wrong, like Call the Midwife, Line of Duty, Bodyguard, great shows.
Yeah.
But why are they putting this crap into Doctor Who? Did they just pick this show and say, right, do you know what? This is an established show, loads of fans, it's making loads of money. This is where we put in our messages.
I don't know, because it seems like there's a wave right across Hollywood to loads of TV stations because the same thing. I mean, it's no mistake the same thing happened with Star Wars and Star Trek. I mean, they keep denying it, but the evidence is all around you. All you've got to do is look at Charlie's Angels. You've got to look at Star Trek, Star Wars, and it's happening right across the board. They can't deny it, but yet they are. But they have all the power, remember. BBC owns Doctor Who. So it doesn't matter what we say. The ratings can go down to an all-time low. Nobody could be watching it. No. And they could still put it out because they're law unto their own. So
because it's apparently it's all paid for, isn't it, up to series 15 now? It's all paid for.
Yeah.
It's and they have to suppose the money's been spent, so they have to run it out.
Yeah. It's a shame. As I said, it's a shame because they destroyed Star Wars. They're going to destroy Doctor Who. And what's really a shame is people like, Peter, who I know is upset at what's going on, and Tennant and Smith. They haven't got the balls to come out and say, you know what, they're pissing off Doctor Who. They haven't got the balls to say, and I know they're pissed as well. I know they are. I mean, maybe not Matt.
If they come out and said that, the entire fandom would applaud them.
But I don't think that's true because I think, right, this is just what I think. I think the majority of fandom are pissed. They like us to believe that the majority of fandom is with this version of Doctor Who, but it's not. Yeah. I would say out of 100, 25% of the fandom is with this Doctor Who. The rest are pissed off big time. Yeah. Right. That's what I think. Everyone I've spoken to, because I know a lot of Doctor Who fans are saying this is a tragedy. What's happening with in fact, most of the fans I know that grew up liking Doctor Who just given up on it. Totally given up. Even before, after season 11, that's it. They gave up on it. And quite rightly so.
I just felt, when the ratings were going down near the end of the Capaldi's run, and I felt they should have just brought in. I have nothing against a female doctor. I've nothing against it. But they should have brought in a male doctor. I got the ratings back up with a young male-ish doctor, and that would have got the ratings back up. And then when your ratings are if you had ratings again that were sort of similar to what David Tennant was getting, then that was the time to put in your female doctor, I think.
But look, I wanted the female doctor to work.
Yeah, so did I.
I saw the trailer, right, and then when she was all dressed in black, she took the hoodie off, and my heart sunk. But then I thought to myself, please let this work. Please, right? And from the first episode with the abysmal writing, I just knew they destroyed it.
Everything looked But once the first episode came out, it just fell into the ground.
I mean, it's such bad writing. She falls out of the TARDIS and she smashes through the top of the train. She should have regenerated into somebody else, because that would have killed her. Killed Tom Baker when he fell off the scaffolding.
Yeah.
When he
Or at least, if she hadn't changed, at least, why did she not smash through the train to stand up and regenerate and blast that bloody monster, whatever the hell that was? That would have been more sense.
And also, right, it's such bad writing that the female doctor's explaining everything as she goes.
Yeah.
Everything. There's nothing she leaves out. She just talks away through it, and it's like she's telling the audience, we're doing this, we're doing that. And it's just really bad writing. From the moment when Graham saw his wife fall off the scaffolding, didn't shed a tear, didn't look upset, very passive. His wife is telling him what to do on the train. I knew we were in trouble, and it just sucks. The whole thing just sucks. I'm sorry. But
it's the small details that even get me. Like her costume doesn't look great.
No, she looks like Mork and Mindy.
The Sonic looks dreadful. The only thing I like about the outside of the TARDIS, love it. The inside is rotten.
Yeah. I mean, everything about this Doctor Who stinks. All of it, right? It stinks of agenda. It stinks of, trying to slap men down. Everything. I mean, if a proper writer had written this, I said, when Graham's wife died, he would have blamed the Doctor. That's a natural thing to do. You'd be angry. You'd be crying. You'd be shouting at her. You'd be like, almost want to smack her head in, which every true fan did when I watched that first episode. But they didn't. And then you've got these three idiots that follow her like puppies, who doesn't even question the danger they're going to be in at all.
They were introduced far too quickly. I thought I always thought that he should have maybe land on the train and end up with Graham, have the whole episode with Graham. Grace dies, Graham travels with her. Then we run into Ryan. Then we run into Yaz. And then
any good writer would have made those three accidentally stuck with the Doctor and they want out because it's so dangerous. That probably would have been a better thing to do.
He's gentle, and apparently this idea that he has for the show, he's had this since he was a kid. So you think with the amount of time that he's been thinking that this has been on, what age is he now? He must be around his mid-40s.
He's idiot age,
yeah. You think with him thinking of this from a kid that he would have had it well planned out and well thought of before he started writing.
I mean, he literally just copied what they did in the last seasons, the Moffat era, destroying again Gallifrey, making this other Doctor the War Doctor. Do you know what I mean? Copying stories from Big Finish. Do you know what I mean?
I didn't like the way he destroyed Gallifrey. I always thought Gallifrey could come back, but stay in the background. And every few series, you could have a case where it's sort of like Deadly Assassin style, where the Doctor's called upon and needed by Gallifrey or something.
But I've said this a long time ago. The writing was bad, even in Moffat's era, and even in I mean, just the fact that we had I said this before, an eating bin. I was upset, but I still stuck with the Doctor. I was like, "What is this? What this is stupid." And then little things like, as I was saying, little things like when Jodie turns to Yaz and she goes, "It's at the tip of my what's this called?" The Doctor's been how old is the Doctor? 900. He or she knows what a tongue is. What suddenly she forgets what a tongue is?
I think the show has sort of been on a slide since Series 8, the end of Series 8. I think if Moffat had stuck with the way he was writing Series 8 and kept the Doctor and that tone
of the way... He was losing it, though, Moffat, because he didn't know how to end. He really didn't know how to end what he wrote.
But I didn't like the way... I didn't like the way he changed Capaldi's whole character in Series 9. He should have kept him that darker tone.
But that was the wrong move, in my opinion. That was the wrong move to make.
That was the move that I agree. That was the move. I liked it, but that was the move that killed it for a lot of young fans.
Too dark.
Too dark for them. Yeah. Just for a minute, just before you continue on, guys, I'm actually just sitting back and letting you talk because couple of new people in the chat, so I just want to give them a little shout out there. So we have Colin in the chat. We've got Rachel Mullins. Welcome. We have Crusader, Derek McManus, Raymond Williams, and I think that's all the new names there. So go ahead, guys. Yeah, you are and John Steed. Case
John Steed. He's from the Avengers.
Oh God!
See, that's a good show. See, the Avengers know how to write, right? The people that wrote the Avengers, they knew exactly what they were doing, and it was unique, and it was a great show. It was just brilliantly original. I don't know if you know the Avengers, the British version TV show. Yeah. You know, and that's what we should be aiming for with Doctor Who, not this crappy writing and treating us like kids and preaching to us.
It's stupid the way that they make the excuse for the ratings. Oh, people don't watch TV anymore. People don't watch TV anymore. You know, I always refer back to Bodyguard. Was it like 17 million people? Was that overnights or consolidated?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. We actually made that point. It doesn't matter whether they were overnight or consolidated, right? The fact is that the Bodyguard, Call the Midwife, Blinders, and all these other shows are able to get over 10 million.
And they're brilliant.
Right? And why? Because the writing is far superior. Yeah. That's the only thing that's ever been wrong with this show. I do agree. Near Moffat's end, that he went a bit crazy, and he's right. I think he has run out of ideas, to be honest. But he should have went before he actually
went. As much as I love Capaldi, I think Moffat should have bowed out of Matt Smith in 2013.
He should have,
yeah, and let a new showrunner take over with Peter, because then you never know what we could have got with Peter.
We could have had a Toby Whithouse with Peter Capaldi.
Yeah, I agree.
But you never know. You never know.
Welcome to the chat as well. I see there's new names coming in. We've got one of you is watching right now. If you are liking what the lads are saying, please give this stream a like. And if you would like to add or ask any of the lads a question about Sunday, and what they
fire away.
Yeah,
exactly.
Fire away.
We're gonna look. It's going to be very hard. I was thinking about what will I do for tonight's stream. Will we do something cheery? But I don't think Anton is going to cheer us up, really.
Yeah.
So listen, just let me know how you are feeling, right? We're all in this together anyway. We're all feeling the same way, so you're not alone anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the evidence around you. And then you got that stupid Pierce fella saying everything's healthy with Doctor Who. And do you know what I mean? I mean, you know how I got into all of this, right? I tell you the truth, Noel, right? So I was watching Doctor Who, but the Bacaldi era, and I was like, this is shit. That stupid superheroine Christmas one was absolute disaster, right? And then I was looking to see if anyone was reviewing it, and all the reviews were glowing. Little did I know I was watching Access Media, and then one day I came across Bostrek, right? Bostrek's channel, and I realized that people agreed with me, and then I ended up looking at loads of stuff on YouTube. And the truth was out there, but it wasn't filtering into Access Media.
Yeah.
And if you take that into account, then you realize what's going on now. Yeah. You know?
First time, like I always say, I've said before, I was for Jodie and all at the start. First time I discovered Bostrek, I thought he was a dickhead. Not anymore. He talks sense, and what he said, everything he says is sense.
Yeah.
Like, because the only reason I thought he was a bit of an ass at the start was because I wanted this era to work. I wanted it desperately to work. And then when I got smacked across the face, I realized he was right. He was right.
Everybody, look, I've gotten to know Bostrek over the last year and a bit now. We this year, man. It was funny. I sent them an Irish. It was then, what you call it? Look, Bostrek could see like a lot of. There's a few out there that could see this a mile away. It did take the rest of us. Let's be honest. They even took me. Well, I knew when she was cast, I knew it was going to be a disaster because I didn't like Jodie Whittaker anyway.
Yeah.
I kind of knew there might be some agenda, but I didn't think it'd be this bad. But let's be honest, right? Some fans have came late to the party. That doesn't matter. They've realised now, and that's all that matters. That you've seen it. the numbers are dropping away each week. More fans are realizing that this is not Doctor Who. So it bodes well for us on this side of the fandom. And you know what? Someone put a tweet out, right? Say, well, if you don't like Doctor Who, why don't you leave it to us to watch it? And I says, yeah, that's all well and good. I says, the whole 1.2 million of you. I says, Doctor Who doesn't survive without us. And if you keep treating us with disrespect, we're going to keep walking away. And I says, more and more each week have walked away. Now, I would have loved it to go faster, but it's still showing the downward trend.
Yeah.
Is 11. So I'm sorry, this special, whenever it is, I don't care if it's Christmas or New Year's. Who gives a flying crap? It's going to be even lower than Resolution.
Yeah.
There's no way they're rescuing this. So by the time they start Series 13, if rumored, right, if Jodie Whittaker is still staying on board and Chris Chibnall are still staying on board, if we don't manage to get them out of here, right? Well, then we will have to wait at least another year to 18 months before we get a series of Doctor Who. Do you mean to tell me that the fans are going to wait again and yet and then wait to see what Travis brings us for Series 13? There will be no fandom, you bloody idiots at the BBC. And Piers Wenger, do yourself a favour. Get your head out your ass. Make the decision that needs to be made and get rid of Chris Chibnall, Jodie Whittaker, and all his writing team. And you've got a chance. And you know what? Fans won't blame you, right, if it goes cock up again, right? You made the decision. You made the right decision, and fans would back you for that one. But you know what? The fact that you came out and you still had your head in the sand, you're just an idiot. And Jay Robertson is in the chat. Sorry, guys, I'll let you continue now.
Yeah. I don't think it's just a case of getting rid of Jodie and Chibnall. I think the whole series needs to be moved to a co-production with either HBO, Amazon, or
no. Because once the Americans get involved, it's not going to be Doctor Who anymore. They tried. They tried with Paul McGann, didn't they? And you knew if that one was successful, Doctor Who was going to be changed a lot, because making Doctor Who half human on my mother's side. I mean, that completely wasn't right. And then the Ive Harmony was completely wrong as well about it. So the Americans have a completely different way of seeing science fiction, and sometimes great and sometimes bad. But Doctor Who is initially British. It needs that British feeling and flavor to make it work.
That's why I think.
Yeah, you need proper writers that know science fiction to bring this thing alive. Because you know what, right? Doctor Who is a unique sci-fi, right? It's a sci-fi that has its own tone, right? And it didn't matter how many actors played the Doctor, the tone was still there. From Peter Davison to Tom Baker to John Pertwee, that British tone was there. You take that away, it's not going to be Doctor Who anymore.
Yeah, I think
they did with this.
if any production company, because I know Call the Midwife isn't made by BBC Studios, it's made by a different production company for BBC.
Yeah,
I think if you one second thought now, when you think about it, if you were going to do co-production, I think the only company that deserves to get it is Bad Wolf Productions. I don't know if you've heard of them.
Yeah, I've heard of them. Yeah.
Julie Gardner and Jane Trotter, that shows their baby. They would look after that. I think.
It just needs to be someone that knows what they're doing when it comes to writing. As I said to Noel a long time ago, I've always had a problem with Doctor Who, from John Pertwee straight through to Matt Smith, and it's always this with me. It's always the writing sometimes doesn't work. You got great episodes like the Angels episodes, and the Daleks, the Tom Baker one, I can't remember what it's called. They're all brilliant, right? But then in between them, you've got writing that is just juvenile, right? And it spoils Doctor Who. Now, I think if I was a showrunner, I think the first thing I would do is make sure that things make sense in the script logically. Just the small things like parking the bloody TARDIS in the middle of Cardiff and saying those stupid lines like, you can park anywhere, nobody will notice it. It's a big fucking blue box. Of course people are going to notice it. You want to park it around my council estate, there's going to be nothing left of it. So why can't they just fix the chameleon switch and it just disappears or something but remains the TARDIS? It's just small things like that tells me the writing sucks. Sorry.
Yeah.
Fairness, I do think you should have some cloak in the voice by
Yeah,
now.
exactly.
Didn't David Tennant not have that at the end of the time, or did he send it away? Remember he pressed it with a key and he's like, I can't let the master have this, and it disappeared.
Oh yeah,
Why don't they bring that back?
yeah, because different showrunners have different ideas and they pick and choose whatever they
Or
want.
even that snap and hide remote control that was in the 80s. Didn't it do the same thing? Why don't they bring that back?
I love Doctor Who when, you know, David Tennant's going, let's buy some chips, and then in the 50th that sugar going into the cup of tea. It's all very British, do you know what I mean? And then you got the Doctor who is quintessentially British, right? I think that's how the Doctor should always be. But obviously other people have different ideas, but you know, that's just me.
It should be British made. No, but you know, I have nothing wrong with the Doctor being Welsh or Scottish or Irish.
I do.
You do, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't mind Chris Eccleston. I thought he was brilliant, right, as the Doctor. But he only stayed one season. Why?
I know.
I love David Tennant changing his accent to be the Doctor as well. And I think that was a brilliant idea. But I do have a problem with Peter's accent, although it didn't really bother me because I got to like him as it went on.
Yeah.
And I have a huge problem with Jodie's accent. Huge.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
See, the one word I hate her saying, fob.
No.
I have with Jodie Whittaker, right? It's the whole package, right? But here it is in a nutshell, right? For me, right? Without getting into nitpicking, right? This is what it is for me. Every actor that has come in to play the Doctor has somehow adapted themselves to play the role.
Yeah.
Now, what she has done and what Chris Chibnall has done, so this is not all her fault, but what she has done is she's adapted the show to suit her.
Yeah.
Instead of actually adapting herself like every other actor has done. Now, i.e., David Tennant knew that his Scottish accent for his Doctor wouldn't work. So he chose to speak with an English accent. I'm sorry, love, but your accent is awful. And if you can't do a generic English accent that people can't actually understand, well, then I'm sorry, you shouldn't be playing the Doctor, full stop. That here it goes with me. You cannot adapt the role to suit you. You must adapt to that role. And that's where Jodie Whittaker, in my opinion, has failed. And she hasn't done, if she had done the necessary research at the time when she got the role, then she would know this and she would be failing playing this part. But of course, when you see her on screen, she hardly has any screen presence. And let's be honest, she's a cosplay version of David Tennant and Matt Smith combined together. It all depends on the week of the episode that we're in, but you'll always see there's little throwaway references to those two all the time in the way that she speaks. She's not qualified, and it's as simple as that. And I know Mega Geek will always say if she was better directed and all that, she's I personally, and you know how I feel about this, and I won't get into it again, but all I'll say, I personally just don't think she has the charisma. She doesn't have any charisma at all. She just, I don't know. The only time she seems to be animated is when she's giving out or lecturing people.
Yeah.
And that doesn't come across as good at all. David Travels Through Time has popped into the chat. I just want to say hello. Go ahead, lads. Sorry about that.
I just think,
or anyway, so
I would still say that it's the management around Jodie that's fucking up basically. And I've seen her and stuff, and she is a very good actress, right? And that's the thing. Yes, you might be right. She's not right to be Doctor Who, but as you say, if you were the showrunner, Noel, you'd be saying to her, lose your accent, don't be so stupid and try and copy these two. Do your research.
Get rid of that stupid bloody costume you designed.
She should have had something that was very.
You look like Toto the bloody clown. So we're gonna
Mork from Mork and Mindy.
She should if she had something similar to what Capaldi wore. I think she would have suited
I
that.
thought she looked better in Capaldi's. Hold on, I'm going to get it up, right? Because I've always said this. I think she looks better in now, even though I wouldn't have made her the same Capaldi's costume. I'm just saying she looked better in Peter Capaldi's costume. So watch, I'll get it up just to remind you, right, what she looked like in Capaldi's costume. You know what our costume is like now, right? And tell me which one. Seriously, it's just costume. I'm not saying just because you say she looks great in this costume that she's somehow looks better. I'm just, where is it now? Going to images would be great now if I just, no, I'm still learning how to use the computer after all this time. Right, where is the woman who fell there? No, I don't want to show that face. I don't know why they always show that face. Scrunchy face.
I like the costume she had in the trailer when they introduced Jodie to us, where she had the hoodie and the black thing.
With the grey jacket and all the reveal.
Yeah.
There it is. There, I'll just pop that up on the screen just to remind you of that one. Actually, while I look for the I have the Peter Capaldi one now. Actually, I just seen it there. What the heck is all this crap?
You knew they were making a statement when they go for a rainbow card.
Oh, of course.
And they didn't really need to do that, really.
I know. We know what they're up to. They're a bunch of knobs.
Yeah. And then to top it all off, they had that bit with the ceiling broke. The glass ceiling. How subtle is that one?
Oh, my God. I remember being on holiday and seeing that and thinking, that was the first time where I thought, oh, Jesus, here we go.
Look, she looks great in that hoodie and the thing. That should have been her costume. She looks great.
Right,
maybe Chibnall might make it full circle and have her wearing that for Series 13.
No, she looks like she's wearing a man's suit, which she is. Yeah, but I get what you mean, Noel. Definitely get what you mean.
I think she looks better in that costume. I really do.
But you know what? But you know what I think?
I don't know why they let her cut her hair. See, this is all the same with these that do male roles. They cut their hair. Hair short. She should have kept her hair long, right?
Yeah.
She should have wore kind of a darker kind of costume, got rid of the silly English accent, done the research, and then we could judge her properly.
You know something? I reckon she'll get a bit of a change from Series 13 if she's staying. I reckon they'll switch the outfit up a wee bit.
I think that they should have made her more feminine, in my opinion, because you have to celebrate that she's a female doctor. So the first thing I always do as showrunner is to make sure she has a costume that's not sexist, but celebrating that this is a female doctor. I would have made Jodie grow her hair longer because I think she looks better with her hair longer because I've seen her with longer hair. I would have made sure that that costume is kind of feminine, but the doctor. Do you know what I mean? Not this big statement. About feminism with the big stripes on her t-shirt and the trousers doesn't fit. It makes no sense. You're alienating half of your fans by doing that. So I think it was a wrong anyway, whatever. There's nothing we can do about it now, is there? But
she would have. I think she would have suited. Like, I think for the next series, she probably will. Her hair didn't get longer this series, so she probably will go further next series. Like, all right.
If there's a next series,
so
I mean,
hopefully not.
Listen, there is going to be a next series, unfortunately, because it's commissioned until 2023. They've signed a couple of big deals. They've signed a deal with China as well, which some people are focusing on. Now apparently Doctor Who is communists.
Jesus!
Which I've never heard something so ridiculous in all my life. Just because the country has bought Doctor Who or bought the show, it doesn't mean that the communists now bleeding on Doctor Who. Get away.
I just think the people are so quick to judge things because of the world we live in today. Trump's in the White House, Boris is in Downing Street. Everybody's fighting with each other over everything, and this doesn't help when you're trying to sit down and watch a show that's supposed to be for entertainment and not have politics in it.
And then we got the corona disease.
Oh, God.
Well, everybody's worried about that too.
Did not strike Chris Chibnall, that corona disease?
I'm not worried because Ireland seems to be getting away with it. think there was a case
Well, there's a
in Northern
boy.
Ireland,
There's a
but the
boy in
south of
Belfast that
Ireland
has
is
it,
right.
or a woman.
Well, if it's in the north of Ireland, it's grand. When you have to corona, it's grand. You're part of Britain, right? So, like Ireland, the Republic is fine. The Republic is always fine when there's loads of these pandemics. We seem to get away with it. So, if you want to get away from the coronavirus, come to Ireland. I'm only messing you. Fucking stay out of it. Like, we know over here.
You calling me a Brit?
Oh, wait,
Like,
we
you can
used
just come
to
down the
drink
border
Corona
now.
when we were kids, right?
You just drive through that bleeding border, that non-border now before there is a border. Drive it out. Save
So it's the
yourself.
13th Doctor, Mary Lou, then.
Yeah.
Well,
Hello,
no,
Mary Lou, goodbye,
all
heart.
it is just be careful out there, though. I know there's a lot of panic out there, right? But you know, just work. Just look
I
after
want to talk
yourself.
about
You'll be fine.
I want to talk about the Master, and I want to talk about how horrible this Master is, and how crap he is, and they're just copying the other Master. Right? So I like the actor who plays the Master, but I think the whole idea of him being mad, just like the Sims character, is absolute shit. Right? Now I take you back. Right? If you're a comic book fan, right, and you know Daredevil, say, so there is a villain called Kingpin in Daredevil, right? And the writers made that character grow up as a villain, right? So instead of going around trying to kill Daredevil with robots and super strength and all that shit, Kingpin found out who he was. So instead of putting it out public, he took his life apart just because he knew who he was. So he destroyed his practice as a lawyer. He started killing people around him. And Daredevil didn't know he was doing it until the very end when he found out he was doing it. Now that's good writing. That's taking a villain and twisting it and saying if he was real in real life and if he was evil, what would he do? Now with this Master, okay, that's just one example of good writing, right? And that's a comic book, right? With this Master, right? All they're doing is copying the Sims Master. That's all they're doing. But it's an Asian geezer. There's no originality in this at all.
Disagree. We have to disagree on this one as well. I really do. I think
that's all right. I don't mind disagreeing with you.
right. It's not just the way he has embraced this fandom and has been so brilliant with the fandom, right? Take that aside, right? I'll talk about his acting in it, right? Spyfall, we only got a few minutes of his Master, but we did get to see him in the episode, and he was a bit unforgettable. I'll agree there. But when he became the Master and he revealed himself, I don't see people are making this comparison to John Sims' Master because he was a bit loony. No, Sasha is 10 times worse than Sim. This is why Sasha has come out with this article, because he is really going to do something that no Master has ever done before. I would go as far as to say he is probably going to be personally, and I mean by his own hands, personally responsible for killing one of the companions. I think he's really going to go overboard in this one. He looks absolutely like a lunatic. John Sim acted like a lunatic, but you never really believe him.
Yeah.
This fella, I do believe, is an absolute lunatic and will absolutely do anything to destroy the Doctor. And this is what we're seeing. This could be all his sick joke, right? I don't know. This is I'm trying to hope for the best here and hope that
hope for the best, mate.
But this is probably this is definitely different. This is a different level. I have to just on this one. I definitely have to disagree with you on Sasha. For me, has been the highlight. He's the only thing that I think fans on this side of the fandom have been looking forward to, and we haven't gotten enough of him, which is a shame. In fairness, and I think if we had got more of him in, I actually reckon you would warm to him because we've only got him for a while. But I can see it, man. He is a proper psycho.
I think
you may be right,
and he is playing this psychopath well. Trust me.
I think that I like him. I like the actor. I like the outfit. But I think I don't know if the whole he is a bit of a psycho, but I think he should have played it the more Anthony Edley style. I think he would have suited that.
Thinking outside the box, mate, with the Master. I'm sorry. He's acting. When he was on the plane, it was John Sims he was imitating there. You got to admit.
Again, he was. I think he was.
Yeah, and then when you're going to see him this Sunday, it's going to be the same thing. So, you know, even though I love Noel like a brother, I disagree.
A real master, like sort of similar to Anthony Hopkins in Silence of the Lambs, would be interesting. Yeah. I think.
Yeah, I hope Noel's right. You know, because I really want. If the Doctor's not going to work, let's hope the Master works. Do you know what I mean?
For the love of Christ, if anything's true here, can we not have him swap and play the bloody Doctor?
Yeah, well, that would be ideal, wouldn't it? But yeah, I don't know, mate. I'm losing hope. I really am in Doctor Who.
I mean, could this rumor? I don't think this rumor's true that Graham could turn out being the Doctor. No, I don't think so.
I don't think so either. And also, I think he's. I don't think
just love these lines, and the editing team did a bad job, and people have just picked up on it. It's another shambles by the BBC, but they don't explain. It was an editing mistake. It was he was supposed to say something else, but he accidentally said Doctor, and they just left it in because they rushed the series out. It's as simple as that, and it was overlooked.
I don't think he'll make a good Doctor. As I said, I think they need to go back to the young Doctor now. Because I think fans would like that more so. You know, at the end of the day, right, people are just the same as they were in the 80s, right? Romance, good-looking people, blah, blah, blah. And this world now, and especially media, wants us to believe that good-looking people are of no worth, good-looking women are no worth, right? You know, and the future is female. That's what they want us to believe, you know? And sorry, I don't buy into it. You know?
Yeah. What would you think of the Doctor?
I want to ask you something, because an interesting article actually came out, and it was something along the lines that, well, the fans will have to figure out where, because they were talking about this big master plot hole. Obviously, Missy and Sasha's master, where does he fit in? So there's a huge plot hole there. So apparently, according to this article, fans just have to figure it out for themselves.
That's stupid. That's like the Star Trek thing where they have to read the comic book to follow Picard.
I guess come up with a better theory than Chibnall ever could.
Like Moffat was even.
You've actually had to say that. Come out and
Moffat,
actually say that. Moffat
referenced John Sim coming back, like.
Yeah.
You were saying only fixture level condition.
The master killed himself, didn't he? He shot Missy in the back, so that means he has no future.
Here's the thing, right now. People bring that up, right? But I have to say something, right, about that. We never seen Missy die.
Yeah,
that's true. That is true. Right?
So we don't know what happened. See, the problem is, though, it would make sense if Chris Chibnall actually explained it, but he's so lazy that he says, well, basically, I'm going to try to get that article up in a minute, right? But basically, it's like, figure it out yourself, right?
Yeah,
so I tend to believe that Missy, because she is the same incarnation as the Master, she figured out that she'd be shot in the back or something, or she knew she'd be shot in the back, and she was able to basically save herself. Because we didn't see her die, so I don't know. Fans, there'll be a fan out there that will come up with a clever way, but Chris Chibnall won't be able to come up with anything clever because he's just not a clever man. You know what? Do you know what baffles me? This man has taken so long to produce 2 series, and he hasn't given us anything in 2 years of high quality. And then we have his employers come out and defend him. And they're ignoring fans, right? Well, they're not ignoring fans. They're still emailing fans, but you know what I mean. They know there's fans complaining, but right now they just seem to have their heads buried in the sand. And Piers Wenger, I'm telling you now, I'm just letting you know, Sunday you do not realise the shitstorm that's about to hit the BBC if Chris Chibnall goes along and destroys canon. Now, if he doesn't destroy canon, and somehow he is able to justify all this, fans are still not going to be happy anyway, because we've had 2 years of mediocre Who, right? And I mean, you could say editorially that it's healthy, Piers Wenger, But the ratings will show, and I'm not buying it. And I'm sorry, this whole argument about TV habits have changed. I'm not buying that argument anymore because when shows like Peaky Blinders, as we have said, The Bodyguard, uh, what else? Killing Eve. Shows like that are getting over 10, 12 million viewers every weekend, right? This whole streaming has it's all changed now. TV's changed. I'm sorry, yes, it has, but TV has adapted and it always adapts. What's happened here is Doctor Who is just not written good enough. And Pierce, you need to get your head out of the sand because it's not editorially great. It's not healthy. The audience walking away proves it. And I mean, I don't know how many more the Doctor Who fandom actually has to walk away before you realise or before you could take your head out of the sand. Like that's what I'm going to ask you next, guys. Realistically, how bad does now? Remember, we do the things can still right. Even if there's no right, I want to say this to fans. Remember, there's still a special, right? So that special is going to be New Year's Day, I reckon, right? So we get that on New Year's Day. We have until New Year's Day basically to get rid, right? Now, because we've been told, right? And I'm not the only YouTuber that has said this. We know that a regeneration scene exists, right? We know that a special has been filmed with the Daleks, right? So listen, it's not over. So even if you don't see her regenerate at the end of this episode, it's not over. It's still open. Because trust me, by the time the special comes along, how many is actually going to sit there New Year's Day and watch it? Nobody. Because you know why? Because we will have our work thoroughly done. The fandom will turn away. We will get fans to boycott the New Year special. We will make sure that these numbers bottom out, right? They're on 3.71 now, the lowest they've ever been, right? We can keep going with this. We just have to keep pushing and keep pushing. Our campaign does not end after Series 12. It continues on. And we're going to fight and fight and fight. I told you already, right? I'm going to be in front of this screen until the day I have to be pried off, until I die. I'm not going anywhere until Chris Chibnall is gone and his writing team is gone. And
the day
all
Chris
you
Chibnall
fans
goes,
out there, and I see it. I do post me videos on other people's channels, right? And then you get the odd few that come on. You're wasting your time. I'm sick of that attitude. This is why we're here in the first place. Because for 2 years, fans were going, we're wasting their time. And now that it's nearly too late, fans realise, and now everybody's doing something about it. In reality, we should have been doing something about this 2 years ago, right? But, I'm not going to argue now. It's at least fans are going out there, and they are doing it. So keep doing what you are doing. Sending those emails in. Remember, Chuck has put it up there in the live chat there now, right? Get emailing the BBC. And remember, Sunday after the episode, after you watch it, whoever watches it, send in your specific email about that episode and what they got, wherever they did in the writing, because there's going to be something in the writing that you're going to have complaints about. This is what it's about. Just concentrate on Chris Chibnall's writing and his writing team. And remember, this is all on him. So I hate this defeatist attitude from fans. I told you already, the fact that these guys have had to come out and speak proves we're making a difference. Right? Yeah. Other YouTubers are on board. I've worked very hard on this, right? And not just me. There's others behind the scenes that have been helping me with this, and I've worked hard on this. I'm not going to give up. Now we can't. The fandom didn't. They made changes. Fan power does work. Remember that. BBC know that. That's why they're scared. Why do you think they come out and attack us all the time? They're trying to keep us down. Why do you think you have the J-bots telling you your emails are a waste of time? Because they're scared. Because fan power does make a difference. So,
here, listen, I'm going to have to go here, but...
Go ahead, guys. Anyway, sorry, I'm just.
No, you're okay. You're okay. I'll just say that I have to head off here now. But what I'll say is I was saying there during the week, I'm going up to Belfast tomorrow, but I'll drop into the Forbidden Planet store and take a few photos and show
cool.
you what they have up there
No.
on this era, to show you what they have, because I remember the last time I was in it, they had a lot of Big Finish stuff up there.
Yeah.
So we'll see what they're selling the Whittaker era stuff for up there. They're probably in the bloody pound bin.
Doomcock has started. Yeah. Doomcock is live as well. Yeah, I know he goes live Friday as well. It's actually great because what you call it? I used to be scared when I used to be live, and then the bigger YouTubers come on, because I thought I'd be saying, they're going to go off and watch the bigger YouTubers. But I have a bit of an audience now that stick around, so not that everybody has a bit of variety anyway. And I love doing cock streams as well. If I wasn't live myself, I do pop in. So listen, Marty, we'll bring you on Monday, right? Because obviously we're going to do a fallout on this. We'll be talking about the early. It'll be early on Monday, and then we do have the normal panel as well. So if you can't make the early one, I'll definitely get you on a panel Monday, and we'll talk about the fallout.
Yep.
Because there'll be plenty more to discuss after the panel. Obviously, we'll discuss the fallout there, but Monday then, when everybody's settled, then we'll see if our opinions have changed. Mr. Marty, thanks for joining us.
No bother, anytime. Yeah. Good chatting to you.
Take it easy.
All right, good luck. Chat these after. Right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And don't forget to subscribe to Marty's channel. We'll get one of the moderators to throw that up there. But listen, as I said, we are the fans, and we do ultimately have the power. So I mean, look at Death in Paradise still getting ratings of 8 million a week, says Jeff Williams. That's the point. BBC can't hide behind that. TV habits have changed. I'm sorry. Even in catch up and consolidated, they should be doing a lot better than what they are, and they know that. They're not stupid. BBC are a business, right? They know they're losing money, but the reason why they're not doing anything about it yet, because as I said, financially, this show is secure till 2023 because it's commissioned until 2023. So they don't really have to worry about it until after 2023. But as a Doctor Who fan and a long life Whovian, I'm sorry, there isn't going to be a bleeding show when you get to 2023. You'd be lucky if Series 13 gets off the bloody ground, or you'd be lucky if after Series 13 you have a Series bloody 14, because you'll kill it completely. So this is what I'm talking about. The two nights to go, Milan says it there, scares me. You should be scared. We're all scared because we don't know what's going to happen, because Chris Chibnall gave us nothing last week, and I think that's what his intention was, because he knew YouTubers like us and fans like us would be we're out of our heads with paranoia and fucking worry, wondering what he's going to do. Ben is here in the chat as well. Welcome, Ben. I mean, Sunday is,
D-Day.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, man.
I just don't know what to say anymore, Ian. I mean, look,
well,
I know you've had a problem with Doctor Who throughout its whole run, and that's fair enough. I know there's some people like you, purists, as they call them, and I've no problem with purists, at the end of the day, they don't go around hammering their opinions down people's throats and telling them that their way is the best way. They do let people actually get on with it. You know what I mean? But this is going to be the biggest change, and this is what worries me. It's the biggest change. Yes, changing Joe, the Doctor, into a woman was the biggest change of the show's history. But he's upping it again. It's like he just wants to deliberately up the stakes, Chibnall. Do you know what I think it is? And I think you might agree with me. This man has an ego. He wants to leave his mark. And no matter what it is, he's always going to be remembered now.
I don't know.
Well, Jake, look at Jonathan Nathan Turner. He's still remembered to this. John Nathan Turner. He's still remembered to this day. That's what it probably is. Probably notoriety he wants, Chibnall.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, John Nathan Turner, he knew what Doctor Who was.
Yeah, I know.
And he treated it with respect. But this guy, he's not. He's basically throwing in the agenda, the woke agenda. And yes, BBC has a lot to do as well. But if it's true that Tribunal is literally, you know, sticking all this agenda shit in there and it's off his own back and he's not being commanded to do it by the BBC, then he's a dick, right? Let's face it, you know, just a complete arse, because it's destroying something that hundreds and hundreds of fans have loved for decades, you know. Oh man, I said, I'm just lost for words. This guy's an idiot, you know. Sunday's D-Day, and you know what? I probably won't even watch Doctor Who if they do that to Doctor Who, if they change canon. And you know what really scares me is if Jodie changes and then it's another woman and then it's another fight all over again. Do you know what I mean?
Well, you see, we're at a very we are at a very sensitive time now. I mean, I do agree with you. This could go two ways. They could reinforce the female Doctor and actually have Ruth become the next Doctor, which means then, of course, as Lenny Henry said, they would never cast a person of color as the Doctor. Well, then he'd get his wish. Not that I'd have a problem with that. I certainly think Jo has more about her than Jodie Whittaker. But for me, if you do that, you're killing the show as well. You need to go back to a male Doctor. Look, it was too soon for all this female Doctor business. You had to lay a lot more groundwork, in my opinion, before you even introduce the idea of another female Doctor. I mean, the Doctor's wife, and if you're gonna, as people have used a few classic examples to try justify this, which they're all wrong anyway, but if you were going to do this after the Doctor's wife, that was your starting point, and you should have then continued. What you should have done then, what Chibnall should have done then was, he should have, Moffat, he should have actually built on what Neil Gaiman had started, right? And then by the time we got the Chris Chibnall then, obviously then the groundwork would have been laid there for him. Now, again though, the casting of Jodie Whittaker is one of the big main sticking points for a lot of fans, because of course you think she is a great actress, which is fair enough. We all have different tastes. I don't, and there's a lot of other fans out there that thinks that she's not either. So, you know, the actress, as I said, if they lay down all the ground, I'll actually ask people in the live chat if they had to lay down the groundwork since the Doctor's wife, and Moffat had actually added more onto what Neil Gaiman had started. And then by the time Chris Chibnall came along, right, now we still had Peter Capaldi as the Doctor, and we still had Matt Smith, right? Do you think, now I'm asking you guys in the chat, do you think if he had to lay down the groundwork and then Chibnall come in then and introduce the female Doctor, do you think the fandom would still react the same? Now, see, personally, me, I think I would still react the same, because it's still it's look at it. It's because of the way BBC is run now. It's because of the strategy and inclusion, diversity thing they have going, right? If that wasn't there and in place, and this was just done because they hired the best actress, because they hired the best writers, and they had no agenda, I think fans would be okay with it. Now, that's just me saying that. I could be wrong. But the fact that we know the current climate of the BBC, and we know that they're all about agenda, and they have proven it, they can't go with another female Doctor. If they do, they're going to kill the show. That's my point. They kill it. Has to go back to a male Doctor. And I'm sorry, the experiment, as far as I'm concerned, has failed. And I think it's failed for several reasons, which we have all indicated here. But yeah, it's going to be a long look. If he breaks canon on Sunday, it's a long way back for this show anyway. Some people already believe that it's dead in the water. I'm actually starting to really, really believe that now, and it actually hurts me. Someone asked me, how will I feel if canon is broken? And I said it out straight. I'll be absolutely devastated for William Hartnell. I'll be devastated as a Doctor Who fan, and I'll be gutted for everybody else because I know they'll be feeling the way I'm feeling.
Yeah.
So I'm dreading Sunday like you all. So don't worry, you're adding in this alone. I'm dreading this myself. This is not groundbreaking. Somehow this is supposed to be all groundbreaking. This isn't groundbreaking. This is just Chris Chibnall coming in with a wrecking ball and saying, screw you and screw your canon and screw your 57 years of Doctor Who history. I'm just going to piss and shit all over it.
Yeah. As I said, if this happens, I'm out, mate. I'm totally out. I can't, seriously, can't watch it.
I know. Let me see what people are saying in the comments. This is cultural vandalism, says Raymond Williams. You're right.
Totally agree. Totally agree.
The Tardis sounds. How far would Chibnall have to break the show to make you stop watching? Oh, that's a good question, Ben. Well, you see, I'm on YouTube now, so it's going to be very hard for me. See, I don't want to be watching. See, that's the thing. I actually wanted, you're all saying it, I wanted to give up ages ago. After Orphan 55, I was done. But I made a promise that I'd do this. And then I'm after actually promising a couple of other YouTubers that I'm not going to go away because, like, I was going to rebrand the channel and actually forget about Doctor Who. To be honest. Now, I know it's a risk to take because I could lose everybody, but that was a risk I was willing to take because it's actually killing me. I'm sitting there watching Christopher Eccleston, right? And I'm happy, don't get me wrong. It hasn't, it was tainting me love for it, but Classic Who as well, I was finding it very hard to watch. But I'm actually getting into it now. And I'm happy, but then at the same time, I'm dying inside because I'm looking at Christopher Eccleston's portrayal even, and I'm looking at what we're getting now, and even the story. And remember, the CGI wasn't great back then.
It wasn't, no.
Right? I mean, the first episode, Rose, it's not the greatest episode in the world, but if you compare it to Ant We Got in Jodie Chris Chibnall's era, I'm sorry, it's a masterpiece.
Yeah.
People compared in episodes to Vincent and the Doctor. Do you remember compared the two? What was it? Can You Hear Me and Vincent and the Doctor? Get away! Vincent and the Doctor is like legendary. It's absolutely a masterpiece. Well, to me, it is. Some will say it's not perfect, but it deals with the mental health issue in the right way. Get away! This show we're getting now is nothing compared to even season one of Krista, and he did. And I agree with you. Why did he go after one? But we do know because he's written a book. His marriage wasn't doing too great. He was going through. His dad's health was deteriorating. He was, I'm surprised. And remember, do you know what I have to say? I do go hard on Rose Tyler, but Billie Piper herself. I did give out to her when she pulled that stunt, but that makes me think. I think she's actually. I think she might turn up Sunday. To be honest,
I hope not.
Just have a funny feeling. Sorry, I just have a horrible feeling. But she was actually going through her own marriage breakup as well at the time, and for those two to produce what they produced, is just nothing short of a miracle because. I mean, as I said, Christopher Eccleston's marriage was breaking up. His father wasn't well. And Billie Piper's marriage to Chris Evans, I think, at that stage was crumbling. But they remained very good friends. And the one thing I'll say about Billie Piper, and she gets credit here. Now, for anybody that doesn't know Chris Evans sold these radio station to, I think it was to Virgin for 80 million. He became a multi-millionaire basically, right? And he met Billie Piper, and he went on a 2-year bender, and they ended up getting married. Right?
Yeah.
This is how they described their actual marriage. It was just a two friends basically just got married, had fun, had drinks. Right now, when they divorced, she was entitled to half of his money. Right, entitled to half of his money. Right. She didn't take a penny off him. She didn't take a penny off him. They split up. Amicable. I can't say that word. They split up. You know, there was no drama, and they remain good friends to this day. I tell you one thing. I don't give her enough credit, but when it comes to things like that, she could have took him to the cleaners, and she didn't. And I think she's been married again before, and she did the same thing. So she's not one of these women that's motivated by money. She truly is. As a person, she seems to be an honest, decent human being. I just can't stand that character of Rose Tyler because it's completely opposite to Billie Piper, to be quite honest with you. Yeah, I think she's going to show up. I like Captain Jack. You've probably all seen me leaked photographs.
So he's going to be in the last episode, Captain Jack?
Well, it looks like it's a sit around. Where they're doing a reading and they're all sitting there. There's plastic cups everywhere. Well done, BBC, by the way. Well done. Give us an extra plastic, and you have, cups there all over the shop. And it looks like Captain Jack is in the background. It's definitely the color of his short, definitely the color of the trousers. It's not the greatest photograph. I have zoomed it up. Now, here's the thing. It definitely is John Barrowman. Now, whether it was the time when he did his cameo, but the problem I have with that, and it doesn't fit in, is the fact that Jodie Whittaker is actually in this reading as well. And she wasn't actually in a scene with John Barrowman when John Barrowman made his appearance. So that's what's making people speculate that he actually is. He might have filmed something else while he filmed that cameo, actually.
Yeah.
So John Barrowman could make an appearance tomorrow. It's actually quite strange. Their names popped up on IMDb, and then what happened was then they were taken down. Luckily, I took screenshots. I always do. Now, of course, when I put the video up, I said, is this fans actually taking the piss? But then this photograph surfaced, and Jodie Whittaker is in the same room as him. And she didn't film a scene with him in his cameo. So, as I said, that's making fans, leading fans to believe that there's a chance that she could actually appear. Oh, he could appear, and Rose could appear. Oh, Jesus God knows who's going to appear. Oh, David Bradley, just remember, as everybody said, if David Bradley features in this episode, you know what's happening.
David Bradley's in this episode too?
I said if.
Oh.
Knows, but you will get warning signs. If he features anywhere in this episode, then we're screwed, because then she's pre Hartnell, because they'd have to bring him in, they'd have to tie him in. So we'll have to see. That's
filling me with confidence at all.
There's loads of rumors flying around, mate. This is what's making fans all nervous, because nobody knows which one is actually true.
Yeah.
If we go with Gary, which I tend to go with from Nerdrotics, he was the guy that told us about this rumor months and months ago. Now, we'd all gotten the information as well, but we thought, no way, this is going to happen. They can't break canon. They're not going to do it. And then me and a couple of others thought it was got to do with the comic books, because David Tennant and all was going to be doing a series of comic books with Jodie Whittaker's Doctor. So we thought that that's what it was going to actually be. But if you look at the way the series has gone, there is no doubt that Gary source, whoever gave him that information and gave all the other people that deal with source information like myself that information, it looks like they're spot on.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I just don't know what. Poor William Hartnell.
Well,
you remember that scene in the movie where Sidney Newman is sitting at the desk, and he basically tells Bill it's over.
Yeah.
And then he goes home to his wife, and he's standing at the fireplace, and he just says, I don't want to go, and he breaks down crying. That's how I'm going to feel on Sunday if they do this to this man. Because we all know, listen, he came back when he was sick, when he was half dead. This guy would have died playing the Doctor, and they're going to do that to him. No fucking way. We will get this retconned if we have to.
Well,
I'm telling you, this is gonna. I don't care when Chris Chibnall can do whatever he does on Sunday. I'm telling you now, we are going to get this retconned because they are not going to do this to Bill. No way. We don't even know if David Bradley will do it unknown. I'm just saying, if we do see him in the episode, well, then you know what's coming.
Well, as I said, I think it's pretty obvious what they're going to do. And if they do it, then I said that's the end for me. But you just have to look around you. As I said before, the evidence, Star Wars, Star Trek, everything around us, it looks like it's going to happen to Doctor Who. So
yeah. By the way, on my community posts, where I've asked you to leave a comment of complaint, a lot of you have. What I've done is I've screenshot them. I've already thrown them up on the Doctor Who of Fifth. For those people that didn't want to use their names included, I obviously took the names out as requested. I threw them up all over Twitter on the Doctor Who official accounts, both the American one and the Twitter one, or the English one, sorry, and also on Facebook as well. And I've shared them all over our groups also. So keep those complaints coming in as well, because look, I go on to a thread where they're asking people how they feel about the era, right? And then I throw up all these complaints, and I'm surprised BBC America hasn't banned me yet. Normally now I've been told if you keep posting negative comments about the show, they're supposed to ban you. So I'll be interested to see if they actually ban me off Twitter, right? But as I said, I've also been talking to another group of people that are YouTubers but have other projects, if you know what I mean, have other side things that would help this campaign greatly. I have spoke to them as well. I have actually been asked if I can do a 10-minute video on what we aim to achieve on this campaign. So I'm going to do that for them. And then hopefully then once the word gets out, as I said, I've already got the bigger YouTubers on board, but I just want to tip it over the edge because, as I said, I don't do anything half-assed, right? We're going to do something. We're going to go all in, and that's the way it has to be done, right? This is what I'm saying. Listen, it's time to let go of that defeatist attitude, right? It's time to stop thinking that you as a fan cannot make a difference, right? I'm here to tell you, you can make a difference. And fans are making a difference. The Fandom Menace have made huge strides, and we are under the umbrella of the Fandom Menace because obviously Gary deals with Doctor Who. He is part of the Fandom Menace. Bolstrek is part of the Fandom Menace. So we're all under the one umbrella. So we've got their support as well. We just have to keep going. Look, we're not stopping. I told you, either way, no matter what he does Sunday, this is getting retconned. Because this man, Fecky's legacy. Do you know what? Feck Chibnall's legacy. We're here to defend every other actor that played this role's legacy. This is what this is all about. It's not just about Bill, but he is the man that started it all. But it's about every other actor that's played this role before Jodie Whittaker. And Piers Wenger's comments, which I threw up and showed you, when Jodie Whittaker was originally cast, just goes to show the arrogance of these people, right? She's going to do it her way and blah, 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 blah. And the other doctors are basically all crap, right? Well, he can go and kiss my arse, right? We're going to show him Sunday. Trust me, he doesn't know what's coming. He doesn't know what's coming. As I said, I don't even have to do anything. I didn't even have to organize anything, right? I didn't, because when he breaks canon, this fandom is just going to jump anyway. But I've made sure that people are ready. because there's no way they're getting away with this. So I'm not. No, I'm fighting till the end, and if I have to fight on my own, I will. I'll end up doing it on my own. If I have to end up doing it on my own, I will. I'm not
See,
stupid.
the thing that you're really passionate about Doctor Who, and it means a lot to you, you know, and there's hundreds of fans out there as well. It means a lot to them as well. But unfortunately, things like this, especially in today's world, they don't care about things like this. You know, I've noticed small changes as I've gotten older.
Yeah,
Like you go to the bank and then you're suddenly doing the person on the counter's job. You go in McDonald's, now you have to order your burger like in Argos. Do you know what I mean? You're doing the job of the person on the counter. It's just everything is like throwing it at the customers. They're not saying the customer's right anymore. They're saying the customer can go and screw themselves. And how much can we screw out of customers? And it's the same for entertainment as well. With Doctor Who, they go in, we don't care. We're going to do what we're going to do. And you know, screw you if you think what we're doing is wrong. Like if you go back to the old days, they did used to listen to fans, and they used to do loads of things for fans. So it's all changed now. You know, I admire your gumption, Noel, and I hope something does change with Doctor Who and the whole series. But you know what? They're not listening, mate. They really are not listening.
No, but this is the thing. I know, but and people keep saying that they're not listening. I know that they're not. They're not listening yet, but they will eventually. Trust me. This doesn't mean just because they're not listening now that we don't continue this. We continue until they do listen. And I know you're not saying that either, and I'm not going to make that clear because I'm not coming at you or at. And I know what you're saying, and I agree with you. You just don't give it. But all I'm just saying is we know. I do know that, but they have to listen at some stage. I mean, if Sunday does that, they will have to listen. There's no way they can hide from this. No way they can hide from it. And we will continue until they do listen. Look, at the end of the day, this is what's happened. We haven't really said much since Jodie Whittaker has been cast. People have aired their grievances, but you know, after the first initial little backlash that there was, it died down pretty quick enough, and the fans didn't keep it up. This is going to be kept up. This is going to be sustained. This campaign doesn't end after Series 12. This campaign continues until everything is rectified. So, you know, I mean, look, all I just want is like everybody else in this live chat, and including you, is decent sci-fi. Good Doctor Who back on the screen again. Doctor Who that we can all get behind. And you know what? As I said, if you want to address all those issues into today's society, fine, but you do it within the context of the show, and you don't put the story secondary to the message that you're actually trying to flog. And if you can get the balance right, like the Orville has, then you have a winner. And we keep, you know what, Piers Wenger, I wish he was listening to this, because listen, mate, if I spent an hour in the room with you, right, and we just sat down and spoke like this, right, I can guarantee you, man, by the end of the conversation, you would be making the decision, and you would be actually sacking Chris Chibnall, his writing team, and Jodie Whittaker. Trust me, because we would make you see sense. You know what I mean? We don't have to scream and shout abuse at you. We can actually make you see where it's gone wrong. You know what I mean? I'll put you on a classic episode of Doctor Who, right? I'll put you on Genesis of the Daleks, right? And then I'll put you on the first part of Chris Chibnall's series finale for Series 12, right? And then we'll put the second episode when it airs, right? And you will see the difference, right? I even put an RTD special on. It'll be Artin that this man is going to come up with. You need to get your head out of the sand, mate, because you're not going to have a fandom to keep this show sustained after 2023, and that is the problem. I don't know, Sunday again. I see me neck is at me again now. See, I got rid of this creak in me neck now, and it's back.
It's back.
I'm stressed.
Yeah. As I said, even if they do replace Chibnall, please get someone that is that know what they're talking about when it comes to science fiction, that actually makes Doctor Who grow up. As I said, before Jodie started as a Doctor, no matter what Doctor Who did, I would never have abandoned it. But this is the last straw for me. I'm definitely going to abandon it if they change canon, because just like you, even though we might have, you know, different views on Doctor Who, which is healthy when it comes to debate, right? We both love Doctor Who. We both want to see it survive. We both want it to carry on, you know, beyond our lives. But this guy's destroying it, mate. He's destroying it. And there might not be no way of coming back from this. Once he lays down the groundwork for this Doctor and it wrecks canon, you know, not even the greatest writer in the world can correct it. It might be the case, man. You know?
Yeah. Now, Problem Beings in the chat. Welcome. Nice to see you. Who else have we got? We'll just have a look there now and see if any new people. Matthew is here as well. Welcome, Matthew. Nice to have you on board, my friend. Super John as well. And I think we've got everybody, don't we? Yeah.
Let's see what they're saying then. Let's have a look what they're saying.
Get someone who's now sci-fi drama, and who cares? Someone that's good at sci-fi drama. Yeah, I agree. Cubic Volume has entered the chat as well. Welcome. Let's see. Actually, he is right. Let's have a look and see what some of you are saying. We've got we're not just fighting the BBC.
Yeah.
It's an intersectional age we live in. We can't fight politics, says Matthew Pounder.
Yeah, he might be right on that one.
What do you think? Throw me in a few comments about what you think about what we're discussing here. And is there anything else you would like to add? And I will read out comments. Let me see. Raymond Williams has Jamie Madison is the man for the job. He can retcon it back to Capaldi's regeneration. Ben says it needs to be visionary like RTD or Douglas Adams. Super John says the show has had some sci-fi imagination. It needs to be gripping. Problem Being says common purpose purple are behind it in the BBC. Cubic Volume says I'm losing hope. The show's dead. It's over. I have been very hesitant to boycott the show. If the leaks are true for the next episode, then I'm done, says Milan Reviews. Press the big reset button, says John Steed. And Super John, common purpose is behind everything in society. Yeah,
definitely.
I mean, I really don't know what to say to you. I tried to get on the other end as well, so I could cheer you up a little bit. But even in everybody's just tired, and
we are indeed
just not feeling great. I'm not the best myself, to be quite honest with you, but you know, you have to soldier on. Sanctuary Geeks has just joined the chat as well, and they say, as I said before, Jodie has improved, but it's too little too late. Writing is there. Could have been Tom as the Doctor and wouldn't matter. The state of TV is poor across the board.
Can I ask you a question, Noel?
Yeah.
So the last episode, right? See, they couldn't get back to the Tardis, right?
Yeah, for some weird reason, yeah.
So why couldn't they get back to the TARDIS, and why didn't they just use it?
I don't think. Was it anybody remember? Because you know that episode was so bloody boring that I can't remember. Was it actually explained? I don't think it was actually.
I don't think it was. When you have sort of materialized the TARDIS within that space where the people was, and then get everybody in the TARDIS and then materialize out, that would have been the easiest solution, right?
Yeah, isn't she able to do some? Isn't the Doctor able to do something with that screwdriver to make the TARDIS come to them in an emergency?
Yeah, you would think, right? You would think, right? It's just stupid writing again. You know what I mean? I throw my hands in the air like I just don't care.
Why didn't Jodie park the TARDIS clear? Because the writing is shit. Because Christian doesn't think of these things because he's an ass. Right?
He's a twat.
Yeah, come here. The man that gives us cyber drones, right? Head Cybermen heads, the CGI looks so shit on them, right? They're real sparkly and shiny, and then you come on the screen, the eyes start lighting up like idiots. Get away.
Yeah.
Aiden is here as well. Welcome, Aiden. And the good, the bad, and the Dave. I love saying that name, but every time the good, the bad, and the Dave comes into the chat, I'm saying the good, the bad, and the Dave. I'm not even doing music properly, but you know what I was trying to do there. Yeah.
Yeah, and as I said, why didn't she park the TARDIS in there? It's just so that they can move the story along. A bad story at that. It's just so shit. It's just.
There's all something with shit now. How can I move the story along? I know. Let's put the TARDIS over the other side of the field there, but we won't explain it. Just make yeah, and then we'll just leave Ryan there, who has a disability, but that actually doesn't do it very well. Yeah, the way look, it's no disrespect to Tolson Cole, but he's supposed to be playing someone with a disability.
Yeah,
obviously he's not being written properly, but
he's not. And as I said, right, this is the second season, and none of the companions have gelled, or we haven't learned anything more about the companions that's interesting. I say Graham is funny, right? But we still don't know about him. We know he had cancer. We know that he lost his wife, but nothing else. Nothing that he does as a character makes him a better person. It's just shit writing. Sorry. I mean, even Rose grew throughout her 10 year at Doctor Who, and even Bill, she was only in one season. I got to like her more than any of the companions in this one. It's just crazy how they could just do that, Just stop playing. It's so bad.
Right, I asked people on Twitter also, because I'm starting to get a bit more organized. Well, when I say organized, I'm starting, coming up with little ideas all the time. So while we were live, just before we went live, an hour before we went live, I asked people to actually tweet me how they were feeling on Twitter about the upcoming episode. So we will see what comments we've gotten. I know there is a couple of comments here, so we'll read. Oh, okay. Daniel says he's terrified, scared, nervous. Take your pick. Chris, who's also in the chat as well, says, I am ambivalent at the start of the series, but now I'm merely waiting to see the train wreck unfold. And he has a nice gif of a steam train there falling off a bridge. Nice one. Is that in Back to the Future 3?
Yes.
Right, yes. I looked at the steam train Back to the Future 3. Complete indifference. I won't even be watching this, says Derek McManus. And Eddie Ascaro puts a big nuclear bomb explosion. And then someone follows it up. What is this? Amateur hour? And then this comment here, Chips has the backing of Pierce Wenger. It's an act of defiance against everyone who's grown on these shows. It's their way of confirming what we've always known, that the BBC isn't interested in public opinion, as they seem themselves. You're the guiding light. And then Professor going with one of the best comments. He goes, "We are the BBC and we know better than you." Let me see. And I wrote, "Yep, that'll be their downfall." And then someone just sent me, "Yeah, they will fail to upgrade us." So if there's anybody that's on Twitter, that's actually a bit stupid because they're all here. Why I could just get used to tweet.
Yeah, they're here.
But they have sent it out. So they just in case I do, I'll just keep an eye on that Twitter, see if we get any more comments. But again, community post, leave user complaints with me. Try keep it short and sweet so I can actually fit it into a video as well. And as I said, talk about the hypocrisy of the BBC when it comes to climate change, and them preaching to us about plastic and how they deal with mental health issues, cancer, and how they actually deal with Ryan's disability as well. These are the type of things that the BBC cannot really argue back with a generic email. They have some nerve actually to be sending out generic emails at this stage, but that just goes to show you that they've been so swamped with emails that they have to actually reply with a generic email. Chuckzilla has put it back in the live chat again. Keep continuing to do that. Now, on Facebook, you probably seen today I dropped something on one of my Facebook groups. I've asked you to email someone else also. Go and email those people too, right? We're going at this from every bloody angle. I told you, I've been, as I said, I've been staying up late and I've been working behind the scenes very hard on this to garner as much support as I can. But I haven't bullied people into support me. If people don't want to support me, that's fine, and I'll walk away and I'll leave it at that. I don't throw me toys out of the pram and say, well, why aren't you supporting us if you don't like this era? People will go about it the way they want to go about it, right? So I'll just leave them at that. So I just want to say that if you're not, I'm not going to force anybody to join their campaign and to help me with this, but I'm not going to throw me toys out of the pram if people don't necessarily agree with what I'm doing or because I mean, you will see I'm not going around posting me streams to every BBC shill out there. Do you know what I mean? That's not what we're about. We don't go around harassing people and stuff like that. We actually want to take real action, and this is how we take the real action. So keep doing what you are doing. As I said, they're the type of emails we want you to send in, right? As I said, the other YouTubers that we have on board will be letting their subscribers know as well. So as I said, the fact that the big YouTubers are on board, you seen them, they've got bigger channels. So even if 1/3, not even 1/3 of their subscribers even emailed in the BBC, that's a lot of bloody feckin' emails. So it's real action that we're taking here. We have to get the BBC to sit up and listen. And they have, because Piers Wenger has had to come out and defend his little hire, the guy that was supposed to propel Doctor Who, or maybe he gave it to Chibnall because he knew Chibnall wasn't good enough and would run it into the ground. And maybe that's what Piers Wenger's plan has been all along. Is it true? Someone let me know in the live chat here. Is it true that this guy Piers Wenger actually hates Doctor Who? Is that true?
There's a lot of people at the BBC that hate Doctor Who. I can tell you that for a fact.
Why? See, this is what I don't understand. It's been one of the most successful shows.
They just don't like it.
But why?
I don't know.
Then why do the show in the first place, right? And I know it was only supposed to be a limited run, but obviously then it got the numbers, and then the rest is history. But I mean, this is what I've never understood about the BBC. But you are right, because even the way they discarded with the missing, the missing episodes, the way they just destroyed things at random, because that was the policy back then for the BBC, just to make space. They just threw stuff out. I have a lot of friends. I have a lot of friends that don't like Doctor Who, right? Because like, for instance, my friend Keith, every time he watches an episode, it's a bad episode, right? And I always say to Keith, watch Doctor Who, watch the Angels. He liked the Angels one. He liked the Daleks one with Tom Baker. I can't remember what it's called now. That's a really good one. Where you have the choice to destroy them all. He liked that, but that one. But all the other episodes he's seen, they've been really bad episodes. And I think it's the same with people that work at the BBC. They're like, this is bad. Why are we supporting this? And it's obvious that Keith and the people at BBC don't see what we see, which is the potential of Doctor Who. It's always, for me, it's always been about the potential. This could potentially be a freaking excellent sci-fi with quintessential Englishness in it, right? That's what makes it different. But some people watch a couple of episodes and all they see is the bad in it, especially people in the BBC. So that's just the way it goes, I guess. Well, we're gonna try and change their attitudes, because it's great. Max is actually putting up ratings for some of the lower stories in in Classic Who. So I'm going to pop some of Max's. So Max, if you're going to continue to do that, what I'll do is I'll pop them up as you put them up, just to show people, right? So we will start off with his first comment there. So he started off with this one, survival. So he says survival got 4.9 million, more than Jodie Whittaker's latest episode. Chris Chibnall, sorry, we won't focus on Jodie. We'll leave that because it's Chris Chibnall's writing. That's a joke. So there we go, right? So that's survival. And then he follows it up with Battlefield. Now, Battlefield did rate slightly lower, but it's still 3.65 million. So Jodie wins that one. What was she? She was 3.71. So she wins that one. But then we have Ghostlight and the Curse of Fenric, and they got 4.1. Well done for these, Max. The last season of Classic Who got better ratings than the current series, than most of the current series, says Max. Thank you.
Different world then.
I mean,
it's just different then. It was different world, and we didn't have so many. So if you're talking about classic Doctor Who, like Tom Baker, Peter Davison, we didn't have so much social media or Amazon and stuff.
And I'll make the point to you this. Could you imagine if these stories were around during the age of social media? I would actually think that some of these figures that we're getting would be a lot higher. So even Ghostlight and the Curse of Fenric, right? I got 4.1. I reckon we'd be looking at about 8-9 million there.
Yeah.
Easy. See, that's the thing. That's the thing. That it's just superior writing. Even the worst Doctor Who stories in the classic era still felt like Doctor Who, and still, okay, you didn't understand what was going on in half of them, but still, it still was Doctor Who. It's still recognizable as Doctor Who. This is not Doctor Who. This, and we've been saying this from the beginning. Do you know what? All said and done, Series 11 mortally wounded Doctor Who, right? In my opinion, I think the damage was done in Series 11. But you know what? I will always give the man credit for trying something completely different in Series 11. Yes, you didn't pull it off, right? But what he's tried to do is he's tried to course correct like the BBC, and they've brought back the member berries. And unfortunately, it just hasn't worked. And let's see what's happening there. Oh yeah, that's fine. I'll just keep talking. Ian will be back with us now in a second. So Paradise Towers, we'll continue this. So there you go. Paradise Towers got 4.93 million. And then we've got Delta and the Bannerman men, I should say, 5.27. Battlefield was the better story and had the Brigadier in it. We had Dragonfire, which is a 5.07 million. And we have then Max is brilliant with these. Thanks, Max. And then we have Remembrance of the Daleks, which was 3.35 million. Oh, that's gas. You put Gary's name in front of that, and you have Dalek Gary 535. That'd be brilliant. Put that there. Gary, there you go, right? Dalek Gary 535. Garlic. Oh my god, I'm losing it. This era has made me dumb. Right, let me see. The Happiness Patrol is a 5.1, and Silver Nemesis 5.5. Well done, Max. Thanks for this. I appreciate it. But as you can see, again, this was classic era, right? This was classic era, and there you go. There's an episode that even actually gets slated. The greatest show in the galaxy, and that even beats last week's episode. Look, this is don't be listening to the BBC. Don't be listening to these fans either that are telling you it's a waste of time what we're doing. It's not. And look, you know, we're not going to we're not going to get this done overnight. I hope people realize that this is a long haul situation. I'm not talking years, but it is going to be a long haul situation. But we stick with it. We're not going anywhere. We've got to remember and let these fans know. And someone said we're up against a woke agenda, right? But here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. There's a small minority of them flogging all of this, right? There's more of us, and there always has been. That's what they've always feared. Why do you think they're coming out in their droves now and defending left, right, and centre? Why do you think Chris Chibnall, BBC America, their YouTube, their Facebook, and their Twitter accounts are all hyping this episode? They are in panic mode, and they should be in panic mode. Paul McGann got 8 million people watching, says Lee. I'm assuming that's the movie you're talking about, is it? Was that 8 million people went to see that movie? Well, that's still respectable considering, you know, not many people knew about Doctor Who back then. If you think about it. Well, they did. There was geeks that knew about it, like myself, but you know, it wasn't huge and popular in America. You know, there were on a few channels over there, all right, and it had its fans, but you know what I mean. But 8 million, that is respect, but still, it's respectable score. 8 million. I mean, this whole thing compared and Joe, you compare it to Peter, but even those numbers now, they can't use them because her air is not adding up anymore. Ian, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that. Actually, mate, I need to actually do one myself, but you know, I said I'll wait until you come back, and I will let you just host for a couple of seconds. So if you want to ask anybody there in the chat, if they'd like to, if you want to ask them a question or something, and then read out some of the comments.
Me?
No, man. I'm just going to go and do what you did. It'll only be a 2-second job.
Okay.
Just before I do go, Bo, Max has another one there. So we have Mind Warp. There, do that. If Max throws up another comment, read out, because he's reading out the episodes there. So Mind Warp was a 5.08. Terror of the Viroids, which I never get right, is 4.88. And the Ultimate Foe got 5 million. And I will be back in 2 seconds. I'll leave you with Ian there just for a few minutes. I won't be too long there. Just Ted, you come with me as well. Just
He's abandoned his own life. Can I ask a question, please, guys? Could I ask, right, does anybody know why the TARDIS couldn't materialize in the middle of the last episode? Was there something explained in that episode? Does anyone know? We'll find out. Also, right, she's got a time machine. Why didn't she go back in time before the Cybermen invaded and saved those bunch of people? Why did she have to go to the exact same time when trouble had started? She's a freaking time machine. Makes no sense, right? Let's see. Does anybody know the answer to that question, or can you give me twin dilemma? Nothing was ever explained. Okay,
I'm back.
That's all right.
I can feel through the screen his relief. We got another one. The Savages got 5 million. The War Machines got 5.2. The Smugglers got 4.5. The War Games got 4.9, so just under 5, and Inferno 5.5. As you can see, you can get the gist.
She's a psychopath. Sorry, I'm just reading some of these comments. I asked them a question just now, and they're just responding to it. It's hilarious.
All right, because she's a psychopath. Man writing Chibnall is a lazy git, says Daniel.
Now, I asked them a question, right? Why didn't Jodie? She's got a time machine, right? So why didn't Jodie go back before, you know, the Cybermen attacked that bit of land? Why did she have to materialize at the exact same time that the Cybermen was attacking? Why couldn't you just go back in time and come before that actually happened? I don't know. What do you think?
You know, at this stage, I really don't care. There's been so many plot holes in this era, apparently there's a story arc. These J-bots keep telling us there's a story arc. I don't know what the story arc is, and I know you aren't cleverer than me and everybody in this live chat and every Doctor Who fan out there that doesn't like this era. There is no story arc. What is it? Gallifrey? Is it Ruth? Is it Brendan? Is it the Timeless Child? We don't know because his writing's been all over the place. Is it a lone Cyberman? We don't know because again, the writing's all over the place. What Chris Chibnall does, he does like what J.J. Abrams does, right? He puts out all these different threads, but he never really ties them all up. So you think you're going places with them, but you never really do go places with them, right? And most of them will probably never be resolved because that's the type of writer that he is. He just isn't capable of writing Doctor Who.
Is it true that in, I can't remember which episode with might be Peter, that you saw the legs of the child, Timeless Child, and it was white? The legs were white.
No, we've seen the Timeless Child.
So who's that? Who's the black girl?
It's the Timeless Child. We've seen a thought. Well, we're rumoring she's the Timeless Child, but we keep seeing this little girl.
Yeah. And
in flashbacks or flash forward or whatever the feck the master does be doing. But anyway, we keep having these flashbacks of this little girl. So people are saying that she's the Timeless Child. Now, the original rumor is that she is the Timeless Child, and somehow the big bad male Time Lords figured out the secret to a long life or some crap. I'll put it up. It's in the wiki. Reddit leaks. I'll put the video up anyway. The video is there. They basically apparently the person that put the original leak up was given an update on everything that was basically confirmed, and it looks like that everything that they have been saying is confirmed. So if what they're saying is confirmed is happening, well then, yeah, William Hartnell's legacy is destroyed. Rassilon will be back. The Valeyard is a woman now.
Why?
Have you seen the photographs of the woman? Gat, if you all remember her from The Fugitive of the Judoon, we thought she, the root doctor gave her the gun and she did something to the gun, and when she shot the gun, she died. Well, she's back and she looks like she's in similar clothes to the Valeyard. Similar. It's a similar uniform and all. It actually has the stripes and all in the place. It's just a different variant of it, but it definitely looks like the costume. So even the Valeyard, it looks like might be female, or it could be just Chris Chibnall taking the piss out of us and thinking that making us think that it is the Valeyard and she's actually just still Gat. But there you go. Anyway, that's a photograph. That's up there. I've actually put 3 videos. If you haven't seen the videos, right, of putting videos up of all the photographs that I've been able to find of the upcoming episode, the ones that were leaked, and then some others that the BBC have put up themselves. I've put them all in 3 videos. So if you haven't seen them, go out and check the images out and let me know what you think of them. Some of them are quite interesting to look. It looks like that the master does have the better Jodie Whittaker a couple of times in some of the photos. So and he also has her trapped.
I hope he kills her.
I don't know. Maybe he does. Maybe this is why. Maybe this is why he's talking. Maybe this is why he's saying. Maybe he's not directing that at us. Maybe he's directing at the J-bots by saying, I hope you don't hate me after this, because maybe he is going to kill Jodie Whittaker's doctor.
Well, I hope so.
And if that does happen, well then, it goes back to when I said she was leaving. I still think there's a possibility that she's going to go. Just look at Ian, you work in television, right? Can you honestly tell me that these numbers hold up for her to keep her job? Because someone is going to be the fall person, right? And mostly it's the actor that normally has to pay the price. The actor and the showrunner gets another go at it. And then if it's the showrunner, then they normally seem to get rid of the showrunner then after the fact that they've gotten rid of the actor. So do you think she could be made a scapegoat?
No, I don't think so. I think they want Jodie to work And if they do it, then you can bet your bottom dollar that Jodie wants to leave. But I don't think they'll do that. Another thing you should understand as well is that when you talk about ratings for Doctor Who, 2 million, 3 million, that's considered okay in today's climate, because today's climate's all about it's the streaming wars that the network channels are afraid of. And so,
yeah, but it's not even doing well when it's played on its own.
okay, let me finish, right? So big shows like Call the Midwife and Pinky Blinders, which basically is streaming on other platforms as well, they're getting the big ratings because they're original and they've struck a chord with a huge audience, right? Especially Call the Midwife, who their age demographic is aimed at 50 and beyond. And 50-year-olds watch a lot of TV, and they basically inhabit TV when it comes to the afternoon from 7 onwards. 50-year-olds are watching TV, not young people. So if Doctor Who gets 2 million, 3 million, because shows not like The Midwife, other shows are getting that amount as well, maybe even more, right? So one show might get 5 million, some shows might get 4 million. If you think about 2 million, it's just half of 4 million. So that's the way they're justifying it. They're going, well, Doctor Who's not doing too bad in this climate. And then they add on the stuff from different platforms, and then that's how they justify it. But you're right, it's not doing well at all, because if it was doing well, it'll hit the 5 million mark, wouldn't it, in today's climate?
I'm glad you actually said that at the end, because I didn't want to come in on a big mad.
No. I'm saying I agree with you, but I'm just telling you how they justify it. That's all.
I know, and I'm glad. That's why I love getting you on, because you have worked on TV, so it's great to get your perspective on it, to be quite honest with you. But it is mad. It is madness, though, the way they go about it, though, isn't it? It's lunacy to actually, go about it. Look, as well as I do, you work in TV, right? You know for a fact that BBC right now have a gem on their hands. Now, I mean the IP. I'm not talking about the show right now, because the show is in an awful state. But that IP does draw in numbers. It's a popular IP. It's going through a bad phase right now, but as well as I do, right? And I'm only a fan, but you work in television, so you'll be able to confirm this. If this was only treated properly, if this was only, they gave it to someone that really cared, and then BBC threw everything at it, they would be looking at a show bigger than Game of Thrones. This would be the next big Game of Thrones, I think, because I think this would probably become the biggest sci-fi show. Right now, Star Trek, let's be honest, that franchise is something right now. If this show was to get its act together, right, and I mean get its act together and get a good writing team in, as we said, make all those changes that we said that need to be made, right? This could become the biggest sci-fi show ever. And I mean, there'd be nothing stopping this. It'd be a juggernaut. There's so much they
fucked it, Noel. I'm sorry, right? I have to disagree with you. They fucked it when basically they replaced Matt with Peter. I'm sorry. Matt had the biggest draw in America, more so than David Tennant, and it was well on its way for being a massive show. Then Matt left, and they replaced Matt with Peter, and then that's when the show took a nosedive. Not as much as obviously Jodie, but it took a nosedive, mate. You have to face up to that fact. BBC screwed it before Jodie even arrived, mate, and before this agenda. Well, the agenda was in full swing, let's face it, but they just made matters worse. And that's why I keep saying to you, I think they should get someone younger to play the Doctor, a male young guy, put it back to where people like where it was. Yeah, that's what I think. But me and you disagree, but that's fine. I respect you, mate. I respect you. But what do you think?
Grand. That's what I mean. That's what I love about this panel. We can disagree, and I still bring you on, because, like, at the end of the day, it's about fan opinion, and we do have different. You're not here slagging me off. You know what I mean. I'm not slagging you off. I just don't disagree. I just don't agree with some points that you make, and you don't agree with some points that I make, and that's fine. That's healthy. That's called having a healthy debate. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. But I don't know. A lot of people would agree with that. That they messed it up after Matt Smith. I actually think BBC kind of shot themselves in the foot with the fact that they moved Peter Capaldi's time slot around. They didn't actually promote Peter Capaldi as much as they did with previous doctors before him, actually. You know, he did do the circuit himself. He did the fan. He was around everywhere. You couldn't. There was not one place. Look, the reason why I disagree with you is if you go to all the Comic Cons or you see footage and you see the way that man is loved.
Yeah, I agree.
I actually think, you know, I think fans regret. I think there's a lot of fan regret out there. Those that turned off when Matt Smith left, I think they regret it now, and they're going back and watching Peter now, right?
But mate, you're confusing the good Peter, right? The brilliant person that he is in real life and the brilliant actor that he is. You're confusing him with the version of the Doctor they gave him. The stories were absolute rubbish. The stories they gave him, seriously, the one with, you know, when he gets married to the wife and he stays with her and all that crap, and then you have who's that guy with the ball head? I can't remember his name now. He was terrible. Then you had that superhero story, and the stories just got worse and worse. But
look, I don't like Dr. Mysterio story.
It's terrible.
I didn't like that River Song episode where he does stay, but it was foretold. River Song did say that he did spend the one last night. It just turned out that a night on that planet lasted 25 years or whatever it was. But that was foretold. See, Moffat wrote that. So Moffat was actually continuing this story. So for me, even though I don't like that episode and I agree with you, I don't like it personally myself. I think, The Husbands of River Song? I think that's what it's called, isn't it? Isn't that stupid?
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of it myself. I'm not a fan of Dr. Mysterio either. I don't like that superhero crap.
But they killed it with the story.
I like my superhero stuff, but I like my superhero stuff to be in the genre that's supposed to be in, not in Doctor Who. It has no place in it. Heaven Sent, though, in.
Yeah, I like that one, but they're far and few between. You know what I equate Peter to? Pierce Brosnan. Pierce Brosnan looked like James Bond, acted like James, and I gave him crap scripts. And that killed him in the end.
There's only one movie that I actually like of his, and that's his very first one.
Yes. Yeah.
That's the best Bond movie that he was in. The rest then he got too cheesy. Cheesy. It just got cheesy. And by the time I got to Die Another Day, which I will actually say is
I like that one.
Is a soft spot for me, even though it's cringe as crap. But there's just something about that film, even though it's bad, and it is bad. It is really bad. But there's just something about Pierce Brosnan in that movie that's just. But yeah, he did.
That's what I did with Peter.
He did a movie, and if you haven't watched it, I'd advise you to go and see it, right? Or go and find it out. It's called The Matador. So after Pierce Brosnan played James Bond, right? Yeah. He did this movie called The Matador where he plays an assassin. But this assassin is having a nervous breakdown and an alcoholic, right? And basically shags hookers, right? Yeah,
it's a great film.
Yeah, and he befriends this guy played by Greg Kinnear, right? And I'm telling you, it is a brilliant movie. You just have to watch it. The Matador, check it out, give it a go. Right, Max says his bonds in order are Moore. Connery, Dalton, Craig, Lazenby, and Niven. Right, here's mine. Right,
go on then.
Dalton, Connery, and then we have the good man himself, cheesy Bond,
Roger
Moore. Then we will go with George Lazenby. Daniel Craig, and I don't know who that Nevin
David Niven.
David
Niven. Yeah, he was in a James Bond film. It was a spoof, but it was called Casino Royale. It was made in the 60s.
Right. So okay. Right, I do know they did another one, Never Say Never Again, the Sean Connery spoof.
Yeah, Connery, yeah.
Okay, well, because I don't know him, I'm just going to put him last. See, here's the thing. People say, why is Daniel Craig so low, right? I do love Daniel Craig as James Bond. Here's the thing, I actually do. The problem is that for me, out of the movies that he has made, only two were great. And that was Casino Royale, and I love Spyfall. Spyfall. Yeah, no, Skyfall.
Skyfall.
See, that's Doctor Who. If you see, they stole it. So I do like Skyfall. I do love that bleeding movie, but the rest of them have just been crap, and I just really don't hold out hope for this new one. But I have seen the trailer, and I have to say, even though people are complaining it looks woke, people were saying it's going to be woke. I have to say it didn't look woke to me in the bloody trailer. There was a few little references, all right, but other than that, it does look like it's going to be a kick-ass movie. So I will watch it because it's Daniel Craig's last. But for me, I'm glad that Barbara Broccoli, wherever you call her, has come out and actually said, listen, James Bond's staying a man, because that's very important. That was good of her to come out and say. And I actually noticed not really many radical feminists come out and attacked her over it, because they think they know, you don't. She's like her father. She's powerful. In that franchise, nobody will mess with her. But I'm glad she's finally come out and said James Bond staying a man. It's the right decision. Look, Ian Fleming wrote James Bond character in the book. It's there in black and white, and these people just need to stop these. Look at you, right? To you radical feminists who want, you say you want equality for women, but you just don't. You just want to be better than men, and you just want to be like higher than men, right? That's what you really want. But if you were really into actually fighting for equality for your fellow gender, well, then this is what you do. You insist that the studios start making original content and start hiring more female directors and female story writers. Now, that doesn't mean that they take over, right? You have to get the balance right, but you also employ these people because they're actually talented. You don't just employ them for what they have between their legs. They actually have to have talent. Yeah, there's no point getting these people in if they're not talented, because you get what you're getting now in the current state of movie and TV. Let's be honest. There's a few good shows out there, right? Okay. But if you look at what's left, the rest is all mediocre crap, right? It's not that there's a lack of good writers. Unfortunately, the good writers are being overlooked for these cheaper writers that these companies are able to control more. See, when you've got a bit of clout in the industry, like Ian definitely has now, even if he probably did beforehand, but he's Rebecca Gold now's a multi-award winning miniseries, so he has clout.
No, right? I don't think so. I try.
But you know what I mean? Like, you've still won something, so people know who you're starting to know who you are now, because obviously Rebecca Gold's getting recognized, and she's out there killing it in interviews, and Daniel is there killing it with interviews with you as well. I mean, look, I don't know what point I was trying to make. I was getting somewhere, and then I got distracted by a bleeding comment there, and the bleeding. It always happens. But I think the point there, I just think what the point is that, like, these people know, that's what it was.
Go on in.
Right. So, I was talking about writers. So, that's why they get in these young writers, because they're easier to control. Established writers like Ian and stuff, right? They don't want to be told. I'm assuming if I was your boss, right, and I said to you, right, I want you to write me a new series, right, and then you presented it to me, and then I says, nah, I don't like that, and I start making changes. See, or I start telling you now, I need you to insert this, that, and the other in, right? Writers don't like that, because somehow it restricts writers. You know, if you're telling them, and it also then will actually manipulate their writing, that they're trying, the story that they're trying to write, because they have to follow a certain path. You have to give writers no restrictions. You have to let them write what they want to write. If you have all these, this is why they get the younger writers in, right? Because number one, as I said, they're cheaper and they're easy to handle. The more established writers are getting overlooked, because if a director told, or if someone, the producer told them, listen, this is the way I want it, no, fuck no.
But it depends.
Yeah,
it depends on if you're hired. So if you're hired as a writer and you're hired to write Doctor Who, say, and you write a perfectly logical script, and Chibnall says, well, we need to insert this message here, and the BBC says, no, we can't have that male telling that female what to do, then you're just a hired writer. You have no right to say yes or no. You just do what you're paid to do. And that's the situation I think a lot of writers are in, you know?
Yeah, right now the climate has changed. Sure, isn't there a writer's strike happening with Disney?
In America.
Writers have finally decided enough is enough. Or is it Marvel? I don't know where it is. Is it Disney or Marvel? Who gives a shit anyway? The fact that writers are coming out and having to protest just goes to show you. Look at there's people behind the scenes. There's people that have featured in this show that are genuinely worried, as was said earlier in this stream. But unfortunately, you know, they can't actually come out and say anything. I'd love them to. And, you know, it'd only take one, say, farmer doctor to come out and say that this is rubbish before the rest would pile on. For me, the only man that could get away with that, and for the fandom not to turn on him, or if they tried, that, trust me, this side of the fandom would stand right beside him, side by side, would be Tom Baker. He did actually say after Jodie Whittaker was cast, he didn't throw his full 2 cents into the argument, but he did make it clear, if a female doctor doesn't work, replace her.
Yeah, I agree.
And you know what? He didn't come out and say it's not going to work. He didn't say that he didn't like the choice. That's exactly what he said. If the female doctor doesn't work, you get rid. It's as simple as that, and you continue on. And that's the attitude to have. And Tom Baker actually has it right. That is the attitude to actually have.
But personally, I don't understand why the rest of the doctors are afraid to say what's on their mind, because the people that do conventions around the world, they're not affiliated with the BBC. So they're fans, right? So
I agree with you, but you've got to remember, right? Peter Capaldi, for example, right? He's getting a bit of work now, right? But maybe 5-6 years time, he won't be getting the same amount of work that he's getting now. And BBC will always be an option because he's played the doctor, and they do like giving.
You have a point.
You know, and this is the thing that they're and I can understand why they do it. They're looking. Look, I was kind of saying, Fecka, one of them should come out and say something and risk it all. But someone like Tom Baker, right? I know he's doing stuff for Big Finish and stuff, and he's doing other stuff. But he'd have a lot less to lose than anybody else would. Peter Capaldi would have a lot to lose. Matt Smith would have a lot to lose. David Tennant would have a lot to lose. You know, even Christopher Eccleston would have a lot to lose now because he's trying to worm his way back in, as you've seen. So, I mean, they're very careful because they know that you know, it's basically don't bite the hand off that feeds you. And they know one day that they might have to rely on BBC to have a bit of income coming in when the work is not coming in thick and fast as it is for most of them now. And that happens naturally in the career. That's not me slating any of them. That happens naturally in a career. I am absolutely delighted for Peter Capaldi, because if anybody deserves this success, it's him. I mean, he is a really talented man, and I'm glad he's out there now, and he's going to hopefully kill it in Suicide Squad too. Do we know what part he's playing in it? I don't really care. The fact that he's in it, look, he was in a movie for a couple of minutes called World War Z with Brad Pitt, right? And in that, he's
doctor.
He's one of the he's the doctor, and he's one of the heads of the WHO, the World Health Organization. It was brilliant the way they put it in the movie and all.
Yeah,
and he's brilliant. He's only in it. He's not in it for long, but he's
He's in Paddington 2.
Yeah,
and he's in Paddington 1. So he's really good. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. His career is on the up now. This is what I'm saying. He's not going to do it. And the reason why he hasn't done Big Finish, Ballstreck actually asked him, was there a chance of him doing Big Finish? He said maybe in the future. Now, I've come up with a theory about that, and it's actually quite logical. He's waiting until Jodie Whittaker's era is over, because think about it logically, right? The way fans are feeling right now, if he was to do Big Finish audio for Big Finish, right, and they released it, right, it would sell, and it would get more views than anything that Jodie Whittaker has done. So there'd be an embarrassment there. And trust me, for 2 years or for 3 years since Jodie Whittaker has been cast, Peter Capaldi has been attacked by some elements of this fandom. Piers Wenger, as I said, also has had a go, and there's been a couple of hit pieces out there in articles as well. And people actually, a couple of fans went as far as to accuse him of stuff that I've been accused of, because that's how low they will go. So this is why Peter Capaldi will be. That won't be the only factor, but the factor is it's Peter Capaldi for a lot of fans right now, Ian, is their last Doctor. So to hear that last Doctor again, right, even if it is on audio, trust me, that thing is going to sell out. They will have to actually do more copies. This will be the biggest, it will be the biggest audio sell for them, I think. I'm being honest. And I don't, and I think that's why he won't do Big Finish yet, because he won't want to embarrass Jodie Whittaker, because that's the kind of man he is anyway.
He's a brilliant person, and he's a brilliant actor as far as I'm concerned. You know, I've seen him in some great stuff, and I kind of knew him, not personally, but through a friend when he first started in that independent feature film, and that's what got him started. So, you know, he's a good actor, and he's literally struggled to get where he is, right? But as I said, going back to my thing, is that Peter Capaldi was a really good Doctor, but they just gave him crap scripts, and that's when Doctor Who really did fall, in my opinion.
Can I ask you, what's your favorite Peter Capaldi story, Ian?
I don't know the name of it, because
you can.
The one with on the train with the mummy.
The Mummy and the Orient Express.
Yeah, I love that one.
Yeah.
Love it.
Guys, what's your favorite Peter Capaldi episode story? Sorry, you all know mine anyway. I've said it. I think it's the greatest episode ever written, to be quite honest with you, and that's Heaven Sent. It's just absolutely brilliant. Just him on his look at this. This is what I mean, right? I do agree with Ian. I have said this. Peter Capaldi did suffer because of weak ass scripts. They weren't always great.
And the woke agenda.
Well, think about it. Even those weak ass scripts, they were elevated because of him. But Heaven Sent, in my opinion, because it was probably one of the best written, that Chibnall, in my opinion, didn't he write that? I think it is Chibnall that wrote that. That was probably one of the best episodes ever written. But what made it even better for me, it was just Peter Capaldi and a monster, right? That was it, right? You got to see the level of Peter Capaldi's acting ability. Now, the bit at the end where he's breaking the crystal, I've always said it is stupid and dumb. It is. Right? But I don't care about that. That part, just forget about that part. The rest of it, it's just absolute perfection. His performance is just so heartfelt. You can see that he's gone through trauma because he's just lost Clara. This is a Doctor that's mourning a companion. And I know some people will say, well, what made Clara more special than everybody else? And that is the one thing that does piss me off about Moffat's writing. Clara seemed to be the center of the Doctor's universe. Like, you know, that did annoy me. But you could see what a Doctor is like when they lose a companion. And this whole episode was him basically trying to deal with it. And you could see it. It was just And the whole premise, the moving kind of castle thing, gave it an extra edge. That monster as well appeared and then disappeared. It was just everything about it was spectacular. And I'm telling you now, Chris Chibnall could not better that if he tried.
Couldn't even do good dialogue. He can't do good dialogue either. Do you remember that bit where he's in the council and the Time Lords are around him, and they said that Clara is dead. She's been dead for millions of years. And then he turns around to Clara and he says, I hope I don't break your jaw. And Clara says, what? And he says, I'm not talking to you. And then he hits the guy. But I mean, that's brilliant writing, right? It's like it tells you one thing and you're confused, and he explains it, and then you know what I mean, he does the thing. But with Chibnall's writing, oh my god, it's like a 7-year-old wrote it.
Like them stories, Geek Name Joel, Under the Lake and Before the Flood are actually, that's a very good two-parter actually. Yeah. What do you think of Sleep No More? I really don't mind it too much, and I think it just gets unjust hatred. Yeah.
I got to admit, I did like Bill more so than I thought I was, but she just kept mentioning she was gay. But I warmed to her really fast for some reason, Bill.
Yeah.
It's a shame they treated her the way they treated her. It's a shame Peter went down with that series. Anyway, you just feel my pain.
Well, it's officially now, we're 12:30 here, so we're officially into Saturday. So I've got literally
one more day.
Shut up. Don't be reminding me of this. No, don't be reminding me.
It's make or break with me, mate. I tell you that for nothing. Sunday.
Well, we'll just have to see. We'll just have to see what happens. I mean, it's either going to be a train wreck, or it's not going to be as bad as we think. But you know what? This is Chris Chibnall, and I don't know. Deep Breath 2 was actually not bad.
I didn't like that one.
I actually like Serious 8, believe it or not. I like the Dark Doctor. I'm sorry, I know it did basically kill it. I do agree with him, but I don't give a shit. There was still bleeding 5 million people watching.
Better than anything Jodie did, that's for sure.
It was still 5 million. That was 5 million proper Whovians watching that show. They understood where it was going. Right, and then he changed them in Serious 9, which is fair enough. He might have got the balance a bit right, but that coming out on a tank and the guitar, I'm sorry. He got the whole glasses, and the sonic glasses. Get away!
Oh no! I didn't like that stuff at all, mate. Seriously, I'm sorry, I didn't. When he was playing,
that's what I'm saying. I didn't like it.
That's what I'm saying.
Right. Like, he changed for Serious 9. The stuff you're going, feck the fans. You had to feck them idiots, those other idiots, man. You had the real fans watching. Serious 9, if you had even went darker again, trust me, it would have built an audience, because people would be saying, Jesus, Doctor Who's gotten dark. And then to be shared in clips, and then people say, geez, that actually does look good. I'll go and watch it. That's how it would have happened, word of mouth. Trust me, you would have had a better fandom than you have now. All you've got in it is bloody Rainbow Warriors and bleeding activists and all this crap. Like, go and do your crap elsewhere, man. This is sci-fi, not a bloody societal feckin' medical bleeding show, or whatever you want to bleeding call it. It's Dr. Bleeding Who. Come on. I want me Daleks bleeding, murdering people. I want me, I like the Jaloon this year. They didn't piss me off, but I still think they're a bit, there was a bit added to the story, but they're still a bit pointless.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, they were all right. Like, they walk a bit, they're throwing shapes and all, so I like that. They're all right. They didn't annoy me as much as, Yeah, they were used a little bit better. I also love The Empress of Mars, a real fun story. I didn't mind that one either. See, I mean, that's what I mean when you go back to some of these. See, this is the thing, though. I know what's going to happen, right? Some of these episodes of Peter Capaldi's that I didn't really rate. I'm after watching Series 11 and 12 now, right?
Mm.
I'm gonna watch these now, and I'm telling you, they're gonna be much better. I'm actually going. Do you know what? That's the thing now. This is the thing, and this is where you kind of see what'll happen is, and it is true, right? A lot of people will go back and watch Peter Capaldi's era, and we've always said would it be reassessed in years to come. Well, yeah, the reassessment is starting right now because we've gotten 2 bad years of Who. Trust me, his era is going to be reassessed. People are going to look at it with fine tooth comb and actually try and figure out what went on in it. But I think Series 8 is pretty solid. Series 9, nah. And Series 10, I don't mind Series 10. I know the Bill was telling us she was a lesbian every 5 fucking minutes. You know, Bill had something about her. I didn't mind her at all. He was great as well. He was a bit of comic relief. You know, look, Series 10 for me, it felt like, I don't know about yours, but I even said it at the time. That last series of Peter Capaldi's felt like a little reboot in itself. It came back down to its roots a bit more. We had the professor-student relationship. There was none of this romantic crap. Moffat got rid of that, right, for his last series. I think Series 10 is harshly treated. To be honest. And it is. And you know what? Here's the sad thing. Jodie Whittaker's had Series 11 soundtrack released already. More than likely, Series 12 soundtrack will be released within a couple of weeks of the show, probably going off air because BBC will want to keep generating interest. But Peter Capaldi's Series 10 soundtrack, as far as I'm aware, has still never been released. So Murray Gold's final act as composer of this show, basically his last bit of music, they never released the series. Now I know he did feature some of his greatest hits, but he still threw some new music in there. You mean to tell me you couldn't do a Series 10? Again, there was another shun of Peter Capaldi's era by the BBC themselves as well. Peter was never really the problem, though. I don't care about those fans that walked away. I really don't. To be quite honest, if you walk away, well, then you're not a true fan, right? Because the Doctor has changed from old to young before, and it'll happen again. So the fans need to realise that that's just the way it is. Get over it, you know. So I wouldn't have minded, 5.2, 5.6 it was doing each week. That was okay. I think it dipped down to 4 point something or 3 point something at one stage. It's still not as bad as Jodie Whittaker's, right? So Peter Capaldi's era, in retrospect, if you look at it compared to this era, actually has performed better. These clowns that defend it, they use Peter Capaldi as a reference, but that's starting to that whole argument now is starting to look very, very weak.
I totally agree with you. Totally.
Right. Sunday.
Okay, mate. No worries.
Right. All I'm just gonna. I mean, what are you doing? Are you gonna watch it on your own?
I know. Well, me and my brother normally watch it because me and my brother are huge fans. But even my brother Richard is getting a bit pissed off with it now. We both sit there and we go, "What?" Every 5 minutes we're going, "What?" Because we can't believe how stupid it is. Like last week, me and my brother were sitting there in the living room watching it because we got a huge TV, right? We treat it like a movie. We love Doctor Who, and the bit where they appeared, and Richard was going, "Why did they just land the TARDIS in the middle of the field and just get them all in there and rescue them?" And I was like, "What?" So we're just as flabbergasted as everybody else how bad the writing is, and that's the thing. And I'm not looking forward to Sunday because I know that Chibnall's really going to make a mess of it, and we're all going to be sorry. It's the way it's going to go, mate. I'm sorry, but what can we do, eh?
That's it.
Yeah.
And I'm not leaving quite yet. but there's no way of actually ending this stream on a positive note. I'm
No.
actually
Well,
but
I think maybe the positive.
Go on, Ian. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, maybe the positive note should be that I like to tell everybody out there that we are the true Doctor Who fans. We are the fans, right? Everybody else is just a waste of space.
They're canon brother. They're canon breaker enablers.
Yeah.
That's what we are. They're traitors to this fandom. And any Doctor, any Whovian that actually does agree with this canon break, if it does happen, well, then you're a traitor too. I'm sorry. You're a traitor if this is the lengths that you will go to keep Doctor Who on the TV. Well, then you're an absolute disgrace, and you shouldn't call yourself a Whovian.
Well,
this is, I'm sorry, I'm gonna be blunt here. This is a canon fuck, right? And if you are happy with that, well, then you're an absolute joke and a clown, right? Canon is something, especially when it's got to do with the Doctor's regenerations or who came before who, you just do not touch. Chris Chibnall, as I said from the very beginning, is meddling in things he has no business in meddling in. I do not give a flying fuck if he's a former fan of this show, right? I don't give a crap anymore, right? That man has no business. Moffat knew where he stood. RTD knew where they stood. They never went too far. This clown has gone too far, right? And on Sunday, there's going to be the biggest fan backlash that he has ever seen if he goes through with this. So, do you know what? One thing I will say, if he breaks canon on Sunday, do you know what? There will be something to look forward to. The biggest fucking fan backlash that you've ever seen in this fandom since probably the 80s, right? It'll be bigger. It'll be bigger. And I tell you something, I hope you are prepared, BBC, and I hope you're prepared, Chris Chibnall, because you are about to enter a storm, my friend.
Well, all I can say is everybody support what Noel's doing and just get out there and complain to the BBC. This is the power that we've got. We've all got to stick together, and if we care about Doctor Who, this is what we need to do. You know? Oh, that rhymed. That rhymed.
Making rhymes now. By the way, actually, before we do actually let you go,
all right, mate.
I wrote something up on Twitter that now we did say I'd bring you on for a full stream about that, and I will. But we might as well just throw your idea out there, and we'll see what fans actually think. Right, as you know, yourselves, right? There's a few Doctor Who fan things floating about. We've got that Velocity Who, which is a fucking abomination. If you have seen it, this is what Doctor Who would be like if it was run by Americans. It's purple neon. Don't get me wrong, it's a fan production. They do well, but it's ridiculous. It's a female Doctor. Davros is half human with an eyeball in his bleeding head. It's cringy to watch, right? When I start getting into the Doctor Who forums on Facebook and stuff, she always tried to flog our episodes on my groups, but I threw her out because I'm sorry, I don't support the female Doctor, and I never will. It should go back to male. So yeah, I wouldn't let her flog our little Velocity Who. But there's a couple of others out there. You got Sideways Who do the writing side of it. But Ian now has a bit of an idea. He just, obviously, like all ideas, he's just throwing it up there on Twitter just to see what kind of, see if it generates any reaction. But you might as well do it on this stream, mate, because no better place. Because we'll have at least by the time this stream ends, and then overnight this stream will have about 700-800 views. So we might as well get your idea out there, and then we'll get people in the comments after the stream goes up. If you think it's a good idea, let us know. Ian, go ahead. Tell them what your idea is, or what you're thinking of doing.
Okay, well, I'm thinking of doing a fan Doctor Who film, but the difference is that we're going to piss a lot of people off. I probably never work for the BBC ever again. The difference is that we correct everything that we thought was bad about Doctor Who. Everything, and I mean everything that Dave Cullen has said, everything that Gary has said, everything that Bo Streck has said, and we obviously cast a male Doctor, and it would be the fan's voice. So if I do decide to make a fan film, then I would listen to everyone and come to a conclusion on the script based on every true Doctor Who fan's ideas and opinions. And that's what the BBC should be doing.
If this gets off the ground, if fans actually do get behind this and want to actually donate and get this off the ground, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll offer me services for free, and I will play the Master, because you're obviously going to have a female Doctor at the start of this, and you need someone to regenerate the female Doctor. So I have no problem with doing that as the Master. Trust me. If you want to see a Master, I'll be your man. I'll be your man. I can't put on an English accent, but I think the Master would actually work. What do you think, guys? Support me here. Do you think I would make a good Master? Yes or no? And trust me, man. You know, you would be the Master. Me choke out your female Doctor. Or I could play the Master for you if you're looking for one. You probably have one in mind anyway. But listen, if you're looking for a psychopath, or if you're naturally psycho, so like, you know, you're already onto a winner there.
I think the idea is to make sure, because I've seen a lot of fan Doctor Who's.
I don't want to act me best. I won't give it this like you see the fan films where it's real cringy and the acting is all awkward. If you want me to be intense and a psychopath, trust me, I'll be intense and a psychopath.
What I'm saying is that I've seen a lot of fan Doctor Who's, and a lot of them are kind of disappointing because they don't have the production value, or they don't have the actors that can act, and that's quite understandable because it's just a fan film, right? So with this, you got to make sure that you have the right people, cast the right people, and even if the fans did contribute to it,
I'll go for an audition like everybody else.
Well, you can. I can give you I give you an audition, pal.
Fly over, right?
Yeah.
Right. If this gets off the ground, I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
I'll fly over, yeah. I'll do the audition, right? You give me a script, whatever lines you want me to learn, right? Get a person in front of me, and if you want me to choke them out or whatever it is while acting, I will do that, man. Seriously, you think Sasha is a mad Doctor? You think John is a mad Doctor? A mad Master? You haven't seen my Master.
Well,
he's scary. The best thing about your movie, man, trust me, I'll elevate this because my acting will be. You won't know if I'm acting or being real. That's the thing. That's how good my acting will be. Listen, whatever you do anyway, you have this channel's support. So listen, guys, would you be actually up for something like, now he's serious. Now, if anybody hasn't checked out Rebecca Gold, right, I would advise you before you make a decision actually to go and watch Rebecca Gold, right? Now, he is talking about the high production values. You will see that Rebecca Gold does have those high production values. You will also see that the lead actress that he has in it can actually bloody act, okay? So look at that and then come back, because seriously, look at Velocity Who gets around 2,000-3,000 people, maybe more, watching her little 5-minute or 10-minute little episodes, right? Watch Rebecca Gold. Trust me, the production values are great, right? This movie, if he was to do this fan film, production values will be better than any fan film production that we've seen so far. So listen, check out Rebecca Gold. I'm not blowing smoke up Ian's ass. Look at, he's won an awards for this. This is a multi-award winning series now. So this man is not taking the piss. He wants to bring something to the fandom that will put a smile on their faces, right? And if anybody can write anything decent on Doctor Who, I'm pretty sure Ian is the man. And why not? It'll be something that we can all look forward to, get behind. And then, you know, it's something, as he said, you know, that us fans will help produce, because obviously we'll be helping to donate to it. So it'll be a fan love letter, if that's the best way to put it. So,
but also I want fans' input. I want the fans to say to me, you know,
what would they like to see in it?
Yeah, exactly. What do they want to see in it? How they think the Doctor should be, blah, blah, blah. And I'll take it all in consideration. And I said, this is what the BBC should be doing. They should be listening to the fans. And so if we can get that right, we can get fans liking what we produce and the fans' ideas, just like what Star Trek used to do. I think Star Trek used to take people who wrote scripts, and a few they've taken and then made it into TV shows. So if we can do that, and correct what these woke people have done to Doctor Who by literally shoving it in their face. Like, you remember that bit where the Time Lord changes from a man to a woman?
Yeah.
And then he says that really awful thing about men and about how, testosterone and all that shit.
Yeah.
We could just flip that on its head. We could have the Doctor change from a woman to a man and then say that. Because if anyone wants to attack our Doctor Who by saying that, all we do is refer to them to the real Doctor Who and say, how is ours any different? Do you understand what I'm saying? That's the idea.
Colin actually asks a good one there. Is it historical or sci-fi? Well, I suppose we could have both elements of two, because we don't get that now in Doctor Who right now. When they do a historical episode or a so-called historical episode now, you have historical figures in them, but there's no real sci-fi in it. Do you know what I mean? And you don't learn anything about those historical people. I do see a lot of fan movies do go down the sci-fi route. So maybe if this one could do a bit of both, and it'd probably stand out a bit more. I mean, as he said, he wants to get everybody's input on it. So he's unlike the BBC. Basically, what Ian is doing is throw him your ideas, then he will sit down, look at your ideas, and he will write something, right? He will write something down on paper that he thinks will satisfy everybody. But remember, the thing about it is, he's not going to be able to put every single idea in. So if your idea doesn't happen to be in it, that doesn't mean that it's a bad idea. It just means maybe down the line, if this one goes well, because remember, the first one goes well, gets the views, and it does great, right? And is watched by everybody. Well, then there's a possibility of a continuation. So, like Velocity, who can do it? They do it. They throw out episodes. I don't know how long it takes them, every month or two or whatever, or a couple of months or whatever. I mean, if he's not busy, could do a few more. So you never know. This is a starting point anyway. I'm just saying if people think it's a good idea. And right now I can actually see in the live chat that people are actually buzzing. Do you know what I would like personally?
Go on,
if it was just me that you're listening to, and I know that's not fair, but I'm just going to be selfish here for 2 minutes. Me, what I would love is I would love a multi-master story.
Multi-master.
Not actually have the Doctor in it at all. Just have a multi-master story.
But that wouldn't be Doctor Who.
What?
I said, but that wouldn't be Doctor Who, would it?
Well, that idea has been thrown around before. It could work. I mean, you could do the first story, have them all the different masters in the first episode, and then the cliffhanger. Then the Doctor appears in the TARDIS or whatever. And then you leave it at that, and then obviously then you're building up point then for the second one, and then obviously then the Doctor will feature in the second episode with multi masters. It could actually,
Well, as I said,
I'm just being selfish.
Yeah, sure.
Good idea.
I mean, what I'd like to do is basically listen to all the fans, and then once we got an idea, I would love to go to Bostrek and Gary and the rest of them, because they seem really higher than me when it comes to these kind of things. And the Critical Drinker I like to, because Critical Drinker's a really good writer. He writes novels, man. The guy's a writer. So I'd like to hear their opinions in it, and then develop it in such that it's solid. Once everybody's given their opinion and it's solid, that's when we start shooting it. Do you know what I mean? And you know, they don't do that on TV because obviously it's a treadmill. They keep churning out stuff as fast as they can, and Doctor Who's a prime example of that. So I want to try and get it right. I want to try and make one episode and see what the fans think of it, you know, and then if it's successful, then maybe we might do another one, because let's face it, to do something really good costs money. So, you know, and if we decide to go with this, then we're going to ask fans to donate to an Indiegogo campaign or some kind of campaign, and so we can do it properly with good special effects and good production value, and that's the only way to go, really. But make no mistake, this will be the big finger to the establishment that looks after our beloved sci-fi show called Doctor Who.
We have one of our subs that texted me on Twitter and says, if you need anybody to do the title sequence, the opening sequence for your fan film, they will do it for free. Cool.
We're off to a good start then, right?
So
we're off to a brilliant start.
I will put you in touch with Mega Geek on Twitter. I will let him know who's going to be adding him, and then then he can talk then. And right, so that's something. There you go. That's actually something. That's a start. Someone said, oh my God, Doomcock can play Omega.
That would be excellent, wouldn't it, if we got him to do that, because his voice is so fun.
Epic, you see.
Yeah.
Right? Having YouTubers in it, but the problem is, as Ian said, and that's what rules me out as well, is that he wants but it's not. And look, I'm not an actor. You're right, you know, and you want people that can act, so this comes across as a better product. And you're right, the fan films are great. But when fans are in it, it's the fans, and it doesn't always come off great. You're right. So he does need proper actors for this, and I'm sure he'll be able to rope plenty in because he's working in the industry. So I'm sure there's plenty of people that he could get to play the Doctor and the Master. I was just throwing that out there as a bit of a joke. Look, I'm not an actor, but if he did really want me to play the Master, I would audition if he wanted to play the fan in it. Then I will put myself forward, because I think I would. And I know, like you say, you make a great Master because everybody thinks they make a great Master. But I genuinely think I would make a great Master.
But as I said,
he thinks I'd make a great Master. Trust me. Or Moriarty.
Moriarty.
Yeah. See, I have that kind of, see, us Irish, we have that kind of thing going on like Moriarty. You know, it's kind of like one of our traits. So that's what I'm saying. You know,
but you know, people, you know, obviously there'll be like just like in Indiegogo, if people put money into it, you know, they could either opt for a choice of being in it, you know, like in the background, or some really small part will have one line. They'll get producers credits, all the things that come with Indiegogo campaign. But as I said, the main reason to do this is to say, fuck you, BBC. That's the main reason. That's the main reason. Because I think, right, that yes, we can send them a lot of letters. I really think that they're not going to change. I hope I'm wrong about this. I don't think they're going to change. If we could kick up a lot of stink by doing this, then it's all the better for the fans, right? But as I said, it's just an idea. It might not happen, you know. I might get in a lot of trouble to do it, you know, for doing it, but you know, Sodom. I'm very passionate about Doctor
Who. Velocity Who gets away with it, and she uses the TARDIS and all, so she obviously gets away with it. So there's obviously a way around it.
Yeah, it's called parody. It's called parody. It's under parody. So right. It's like a parody of Doctor Who.
Just do a parody, but just don't make it stupid. Just you know, make it serious parody, you know?
Yeah. But I would like to.
What I would say is make sure now you have the right balance of humor in it, and whoever you do the Doctor to play the Doctor, make sure their comedic timing is spot on now, because that's one thing that Doctor Who fans do insist on. I mean, after Tom Baker's quirky nature, even, you know, going back as far as Patrick Trout and Hartnell, they always had that little bit of comedic element in them.
Yeah.
So, because Jody doesn't have it. So that's what I'm saying. Just make sure that you're well. Yeah, why am I even telling you? Already know.
Yeah, I understand.
Sorry,
yeah.
I'm just, you know, now you have me thinking of ideas.
But that's what I'm saying. I think every fan
I'm going to write a story for you. But I haven't written a story in years. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to try write a Doctor Who story.
Okay, but before you do that, we have to find out if there's enough fans out there that will support the project. Okay, because I've been down this road so many times where you go off and you write something, especially when you're trying to sell scripts and stuff like that, do all that work, and then the person that told you to do all that work suddenly changes his mind, or there's not enough money, or do you know what I mean? So first of all, we have to lay the groundwork, see how many people's interested in this idea, see if it's worth doing, and then we take the next step. That's right. The logical thing to do.
I'll do this then. So we'll end the stream like this, right? If you are interested in this project and you would like to be part of it, right? As he said, you know, fans will get credit for this. It's a fan film, right? So if some of you donate, and as he said, he might be able to arrange for you to be in a scene in the background or whatever, stuff like that, as he said. But listen, this is the important thing, you know, as he said, he is right. Yeah, there has to be support for this, and there can't just be people that will say, you know, because you do hear it a lot. And I have to just say this because you know me, I'm blunt and I'll never be any other way. But I don't want people to come onto the live chat or into the comments later on and say, yeah, I support it, right? And then when it comes to actually supporting it, when it comes to the, as he said, the financial aspect to get it up off the ground, because remember, fan films don't make themselves.
It's true.
Right? So this is the thing, you know, if you say you're going to support it, well then support it. Please do really support it. Don't say you're going to support it just because you like the idea of it. As I said, go and watch Rebecca Gold. Chris put it up in the live chat there a while ago. I'm sure someone will throw it back up there again. Go and watch that little mini series. It's a award-winning series now. He only came back last weekend from his celebrations after picking up all those awards. I say he couldn't get them through the airport. You know, when he was going through the scanners and all. What are they? Female spy thriller Rebecca Gold. Oh, brilliant!
I wish that was the case.
Check it out. I'm not messing though. Really check it out. And if you think that he is the man to do the fan film, well then you leave us a comment in the comment section. Also, what I'll do is I will throw a poll up on YouTube on the community post as well. Actually, I'll do that while we're on air right now. Right?
But just by talking about it, I'm quite excited about it, you know, and I'm sure a lot of fans are quite excited about it as well. As I said, it is standard practice. If somebody gives money, when you do an Indiegogo, I don't know if you've ever done an Indiegogo campaign. There's like kind of like prizes. So if you donate X amount of money, you become executive producer. If you donate X amount of money, you become producer. Do you know what I mean? And then, or you could be in the background, or you can take a prop, or you can meet the stars. You know what I mean? There's all these kind of things to entice people to give money to projects like this. But as I said, you know, it's the most important thing is it tells the BBC how we feel. It can't not just be a fan film, a crappy little fan film, because it will get no notice. But if we do it really well, you know, and it looks like a proper episode and people start talking about it, the BBC will listen, right? Then that's the idea. So there you go.
Right. So I've asked, it's a simple bloody question because there's no way of getting around this or putting it any other way. So I've said, would you back a Doctor Who fan film financially? And the two options are yes or no. There's no in between. It's just simple yes or no. Now, the last poll that I did, I think got over 200 200 poll votes. So let's try get more on this one, right? So I've thrown it up there now on the community. There's no other way of putting it, to be quite honest with you. I mean, that's what we're asking fans to do. And look, as I said, check out Rebecca Gold. As I said before, you make any decision, and Ian would obviously recommend that as well, because I mean, you want to see this guy's work, don't you? So go and check out Rebecca Gold. Throw it up there, lads, if you can, up on the live chat. If you could throw Mega Geeks channel back up there again, and we'll get people to watch Rebecca Gold. I'm serious. So there's the options. So if you're saying yeah in the chat, right, well then go and vote in the poll. But you know, as I said, you know, people have to be serious about this. There's no point of you saying yes if you can't do it. And listen, obviously I don't know how it works, but I'm sure once Ian knows that there's enough people that are willing to back this, then he'll give us the details. Obviously, I don't know how it goes, so I'm not going to sit here and claim I do, because I don't. But as he said, the more money you give, you become executive producer or whatever the stuff, whatever which way it works. But it sounds intriguing to me, and a Doctor Who fan film, and he's right, because remember the lads that did the Trek fan film, and look how much more that actually caused with Star Trek. They didn't like it. Because the fan film was better than that, and they produced. So listen, this is worth doing. This is another route we could go. I mean, because trust me, we get enough fans to get behind this, and then obviously if the fans are behind it, they're gonna watch, and then word of mouth then, because people will always, it doesn't matter who they are, even the J-bots, oh, there's a new Doctor Who fan film out there. They'll go and watch, and they won't realize what they're watching until it's too late. So do you know what I mean? This could really do well. And
we want controversy, though. We want to go and actually correct all the feminist crap that they did in Doctor Who, and then the feminists would watch it and they'll be angry, and then that'll give us more credence and it'll give us more attention. So that's the idea.
What he's gonna do is what you're basically gonna do is you're gonna go from Peter Capaldi's regeneration, but instead of him regenerating it to Jodie Whittaker, or is he still gonna regenerate into Jodie Whittaker, but you're gonna do something that's
no. I would like to, obviously I'll throw it out to the fans to see what they say. I would like to go from Peter to somebody else, right? I just cut Jodie out of it completely and start a new adventure with this new Doctor. And then obviously I'd ask the fans whether they want it to be a female or a male, you know, and just go down that route, because the fans are really important. They're very, very important. They're the ones that are going to watch it, you know, at the end of the day, and even maybe pay for it. So we got to get that balance right as well. And make no mistake, it's not gonna, you know, it's gonna take time to make something like this. But if you stick with it, and Doctor Who's still failing, if you stick with it, and you know, and we make it right, it will serve a purpose.
Well, we've already got 3 votes in the poll.
Just 3.
3. I'm going to throw it up now.
We just started, yeah. I'm joking. We just started.
On YouTube, like it's on YouTube. Right. So we've got 3 votes so far. So far, and we got 1 comment. And that person said, I won't call out their name, but he said, would be glad to back this.
Wow. That's cool.
67% so far. Remember, there's only 3 votes so far. We'll wait until it gets into the hundreds before we actually take this poll seriously. But so far, 67% are saying yes, and 33%, which I'm assuming is 1 person, is no so far. But it's an early start to this poll. But listen, guys, it's on the community post on YouTube. There's 50 users watching right now. So logically, you know, just pop over there right now and it should pop up to 53. Our 5 years are gone now. So hopefully we'll refresh this. 7 have. Oh, no, we're getting votes. There you go. So the votes are going up in your favor so far, Ian. Yeah. So we will bring you on again. And we'll bring you on with Daniel the next time, because Daniel's the huge huge fan, obviously, and he interviewed you, obviously, about Rebecca Gold. So we'll get him on and we'll discuss a bit more about Rebecca Gold and your ideas behind Rebecca Gold. We'll give the fans a bit of a flavour of your technique, you know, how you approach building characters and story arcs and stuff like that. I think all those things are essential as well. But listen, watching your Rebecca Gold, I have no doubt that if the fans get behind this, it's going to be something pretty good anyway. It's going to be better than that Chris Chibnall's given us. So straight away, you've already won the fans over there. And I do like your action sequences in Rebecca Gold. So if you do have any action sequences in this fan film, I have no doubt that they'll actually be they'll come off flawlessly. So I actually hope the fans do get behind you on this. And we've got another comment. Someone says that they'd be happy to make the music for the show, for the film. Yeah. There you go. So you've got someone, and they said they could act all right as well.
There you go. See, look, they're coming out of the woodwork, mate.
Here's the thing about this stupid bloody poll, though, right? I cannot share this poll on Twitter as well, which is annoying me, because if I could share it on Twitter then as well and on Facebook, we would get a lot more votes in. It doesn't matter. We'd get a lot more votes in, so we'd get it through. That's stupid. You should be allowed to share community posts on Facebook and Twitter. But keep voting, as I said, guys, and we'll see where it goes.
I mean, so even you guys will have a say on who plays the Doctor as well. You know, we'll get 3 or 4, and we think they're great, and then we'll just put it out to the fans and say, which one do you think will make a good Doctor, and vote for him. You know, that's what the BBC should be doing.
It's 80-20 in your favour so far.
Great.
5 votes, 2 comments. That's good now for a poll that I've just thrown up. That's actually pretty good, because normally it takes a while before people realise I have a poll up, and then they'll go in and vote. But the last poll did pretty well. So this poll, see, again, I wish I could pin this poll on the community posts as well and just keep it up there. I might be able to do it on my computer. I don't know, but I have to check. I'm still trying to get used to all this bloody technology and stuff. But listen, as I said, and I know I keep repeating myself, go and check out Rebecca Gold. Tell us what you think. We will have Ian on. Actually, that's what I'll do. What I'll ask you to do, right, is because Doctor Who is obviously on Sunday. So listen, these episodes are not too long. Why don't you just pop off tonight before you just go to bed or whatever and sit down, watch Rebecca Gold, and then we will bring Ian back on next week, and we will actually then get you on then to see if you want to ask any questions about Rebecca Gold, his inspiration and all that. How about that? I think that would be great. We'll get Daniel on as well. So just go.
I can try and get Katie on as well. Yeah. I'll try and get Katie.
There you go. You'll try get the actress Katie Sheridan on, which will be actually fantastic. Actually, if that happens, and I'll definitely bring Daniel on for that, because I know she was. You tried to get her on for an interview there, and unfortunately, due to prior engagements, she couldn't. So we'll definitely bring, if that happens, we'll definitely bring Daniel on, because I know Daniel will have a few questions for her as well.
Yeah,
we know what Air Daniel is like. We know what Air Daniel's like, and there, Chris has put. There it is. There, it's up on the live chat. I'll put it up on your screen there. Go and check it out. Really, guys, it is worth watching. Seriously, I've watched a lot of fan films out there. I've watched, and there's very few that impress me. I did like the Punisher one that they did a few years back, the bootleg one.
Good. That was good.
But Ian's one is one of the best that I've seen in a long time, and that says a lot. And there's a lot of fan stuff out there, so really go and check it out.
And also, Rebecca says something about the new Doctor in one scene. So there you go.
Oh,
so, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, towards the ending, there's a lot of Easter eggs in there as well. If you look closely, different films and shit. Because
I have to watch the last episode. I was on the second last episode. So, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go back to the start again because you know because I did enjoy it, and you know the wife is not here. I can say it. You know, Katie is not. You know, she's not sore on the eyes. Let's just say, and she can kick ass as well, which is great. And that's what you want, don't you? So, listen, Ian, it's been a pleasure having you on. And we will have you on next week after everybody watches Rebecca Gold over the weekend. And go and watch it. I really, really think you will enjoy it. Listen, as I said, brilliant having you on. And we'll talk to you soon, mate.
Yeah, you take it easy. Everybody take it easy. Yeah, hopefully Sunday's episode won't upset us too much.
Yeah.
All right, pal. I'll catch up with you soon. Yeah, take it easy. May God go with you.
Mate. See you later.
Bye.
Right, and right now 6 votes, and it's in favor so far. So again, but it would be nice if I could share this all over the place. But it's so kind of some of you fantastic Whovians to offer you the services for free. It just goes to show you how kind and nice this fandom actually is. We get all the stick, but you truly are amazing people. And I want to give a special shout out to Unknown 289 who's in the chat there, who created the intros and the outro for this channel. Absolutely fantastic, I have to say. So listen, I mean, you know, Sunday is Sunday. We'll just have to see what happens. And as I said before I go, and I always say this, don't forget, folks, keep it up, and you know what to do. Scrolling across the screen right there now. Don't forget, keep the pressure on, right? We are not going to stop until Chris Chibnall is out of the building. And that's just the end of it, because we can't. We love this show too much. We would be letting down. We'd be letting down William Hartnell. We'd be letting down Patrick Troughton, Pertwee, Baker, every single one of them. We'd be letting every single one of them down. So, well, normally what happens is I watch the episode and then we don't go live until an hour after it has aired. That gives people on the other side of the pond a chance to also watch, and it also gives everybody a bit of a break. And unfortunately, though, some of my panelists are on a bit of a time limit. So, you know, because we got the rabbi, he's from Israel, so it'll just be later for him. I think it's late. The latest it is for him. Then Ballstreck comes on as well, and we also have Jason Scott Blue Bonnet, and they come on. They're all over across the water, the Atlantic Ocean, there in America. So our panelists are from all over, and of course, as you all know, I'm from Ireland. So, unfortunately, that would be, you know, that would be the ideal situation, but doesn't matter. Look at raw emotion. Raw emotion is what's going to drive us all on Sunday. Trust me, it's going to be interesting from my point of view to see how everybody else reacts, because I don't know how I'm going to react. So it's either going to be a very electric atmosphere where fans are heightened, and Sunday's panel is going to be absolutely madness. By the way, I've got something to announce actually. So as you know, we've been doing every episode review, and then obviously then we've been criticizing, and we've been, trying to figure out ways of how we'd fix it, and then we've been talking about the campaign. Now, Sunday's episode, we're going to have the panel as usual, but we're going to have something that we used to have on this channel before I start doing the panels, and you are very popular. If I'm correct in saying this, now, if I'm correct, I'm not 100% sure, but I was doing fan phone calls. So fans were able to phone me on Messenger, and they were able to get their points across ringing me. This was before I did panels. This was before I knew anything about StreamYard. This was when I was just, believe it or not, this is when I was using my phones to do the stream. So we used to have phone-ins. So I'm bringing them back for Sunday's episode because obviously, what's going on with your Chromebook? Why isn't it charging? What? Am I about to run out of power? What is going on? Why is my Chromebook not charging? Uh-oh. Is there something wrong with the wire? Oh, don't tell me this is it. No way. If this happens, we won't be able to stream on Sunday. Oh, no way. Don't do this to me now. Do not tell me that this is broke. Oh, that's all I need. No. You're not doing this. You're not doing this to me now. You can't. Oh, thanks be to God. Oh, thank you. There is a God. Woo! Oh, that would have killed me now. Well, no, I still would have streamed on Cheryl's computer or something, but it would have been a pain in the hole. Oh my God, that would have really been bad. Right, so am I going to use a new background for the finale? I don't know. I have to fix me makeshift green screen. It's kind of gone to shit. If I get that fixed, then yeah, I will try. But it's very difficult because I do still pixelate in some parts because the lighting. I have lights. I have two big lamps that I've been using, and I've also got the sitting room light, but it doesn't seem to be enough light. So my green screen hasn't been working that well, so that's why I haven't used it. But if it does, I will. Yes, I'll have a green screen on. But we'll see what happens on Sunday. So until then, it's goodbye from me. And I know everybody is going to be, Saturday, one day away. Everybody's going to be very anxious. But listen, whatever will be. There's nothing we can do about it because it's already being written. But we can certainly take some action afterwards, after we find out what happens. It's not over. As they used to say in the 80s, it's not over until it's over. And that is the truth. And remember, as I said earlier, BBC are running scared. Why do you think there's people telling you your emails are not working? Why do you think BBC have had to come out and talk? Piers Wenger, Chris Chibnall first, then Piers Wenger. No, it wasn't. It was Stephen Moffat first in cases. Then it was Chris Chibnall, and then it was Piers Wenger. Why do you think they've all come out and spoken? Because they know that this era is in trouble. So we fans still do have the power because we are the majority. There's only a small minority of fans. It's proven in the ratings because Doctor Who fans are walking away in droves, and you can see what's left. We're scraping the barrel now. Well, we're not at the end yet, but we're scraping the barrel now, and that's the That's it. It's just gonna get worse. So we'll keep going. We'll keep going. The Tardis zone, you could set off an EMP or something, route lock and destroy all traces of the timeless children, says Ben Winnow. Yeah, Chris Chibnall is just, fans are cleverer than him, Ben. Fans like you, because you understand the shot. This guy is supposed to understand the shot. That's what baffles me. But look, yeah, you're right. I'm doing this again where I'm going to say goodnight and then I go on a bit of a 20-minute ramble. I'm not doing that anymore because it kind of annoys me now. But listen, good night. Talk to you on Sunday. Oh, no, I won't. No, I won't. Because I'm going to be reviewing. I'm going to see you tomorrow. I'm going to be reviewing Picard on Rabbi's channel. So, yeah, I forgot. Go and check out the Rabbi's channel. We're going to be reviewing Star Trek Picard with Jason Scott, myself, and himself. And I think we're going to have a guest appearance as well on that panel. But that's on Rabbi's channel. Don't forget to throw that up, guys. But Chris and all the other moderators, Daniel, Unknown, and all you other guys that have been keeping the chat safe for everybody, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. But I will be on with the Rabbi tomorrow. So I will be streaming tomorrow. I don't know. Actually, I haven't actually even asked, but I'm going to touch base with Jason Scott and actually see if he wants to do a UFO stream tomorrow. And if he does, I will let you guys know later on. And, well, I'll throw up something to let you know that there is a UFO. Maybe I'll just throw the a link up and I'll see if we'll do a UFO stream on this channel. Like we did on his last week. Right, listen, see you on Sunday. Well, tomorrow on Rabbi's channel, but I'll see you here on this channel on Sunday. Listen, take care. Thanks for all the support. I really appreciate it, guys. Don't forget to give the video or this stream a like. Hit the notification button if you haven't already. And do us a favor as well, guys, real quickly. Make sure that you're still subscribed as well, because there's people are telling me that they're being unsubscribed. So if you just make sure that you are still subscribed, because you know what's happening on YouTube. Good night, says Chris and all, Cheryl, Teddy. Good night, Daniel. Good night, everybody. I'll see you all on Sunday on this channel.